I might do one on multi too. I think there's a lesson in that.
No.
Oh, there's a lesson in that as well. You guys have heard me say a plethora of times, I got daddy issues.
Roy is someone who is hiding his pain behind his smile, behind his charisma, behind his personality.
There is no way I eat what I want to eat, though, anytime I want to eat. And then I don't have to go to the gym if I don't want to try to work that off.
He denied a part of himself for so long because of who it reminded him of.
Sometimes, regardless of how tired you are, regardless of how burnt out you are, you still have to show up.
He did leave on his own. He did push them away. He did say, "Don't come after me," and eventually kicked Luffy in the face with his hottest and strongest kick at the time, which was stupid. But yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Life with Anime Podcast, where you come get entertained, find some escape and relief, and where we talk about the impact that anime has in our lives. We are your hosts, Family Man Joe
and Mr. Music Major. How y'all doing?
Terrell, brother. Let me pray, and then we'll get going. All right. Father God, thank you for this day, Lord. Thank you that you love us. That your love never fails, Lord, that your love covers every sin, a multitude of sins, and that you've casted our sins as far as the east is from the west, Lord, that you are compassionate, that you offer us forgiveness even when we sin, Lord. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. Thank you for your Son. Sorry. God, ask that this episode be a light to someone, even if it's just one person, Lord. Be a light to someone, Lord, that touches someone's heart. That these anime impacts and everything else that we do in this episode, Lord, brings at least one soul closer to you. Whether they already believe in you, Lord, or whether they've never ever once thought about you or had a conversation with you, Lord, that it brings someone closer to you. That it brings us closer to you as well, Lord, as we continue to do these anime impacts and study our word, doing so and connecting it in a way that is helpful and beneficial to everyone. We ask that you bless this episode, technology, let it be on our side, help us speak clearly and precisely, Lord, and convey whatever message it is that you have us doing in impacts, but also just to have a good time and to have fun as we go through the topic of the episode. We ask that you forgive us of all of our sins that you've already have, any transgressions that we've done to you, to others, and to ourselves, Lord. Lord, just thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace and your mercy that you show us on a daily basis. Thank you for another day of life. We love you and praise you. In Jesus Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Hey guys, we just wanted to take a moment real quick to say thank you so much for being here and supporting the podcast. We truly consider you all family. And if you also consider us family, or even just a small part of your life, please, there's something we want to ask you all to do for us.
Like the daggone episode, man. No. But seriously, we greatly appreciate it if you guys would follow us on all of our socials. We're on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you may decide to watch and listen. Also, we have a Discord. We have an amazing time with our community in there, and I promise you, it is something you do not want to miss out on. Discord After Dark is a thing.
Stop it. And to clarify, before P go wild with that, y'all get a misconception. Discord After Dark usually just means we went live, or we had an event, and we decided to hop in Discord after it, and it usually happens to be late, so they titled it Discord After Dark. Nothing crazy goes on in the Discord, I promise. Lastly, it was requested by some of you guys that we create not only a Patreon account, but also a Throne wish list. So if you want to follow us on anything we just mentioned, check out the description. All the links are down below there.
We love you guys, and we appreciate all the support that you give us. Now, let's get back to the episode.
My legs hurt.
It's because you old.
No, it's because, maybe it's part of it, but it's just...
Your body is worse than mine, even though I'm older.
Here we go, because you're 50. No, it's because it was leg day. Today was leg day in the gym. Did some
leg days and I'm fine.
Okay. You're just not working hard enough. That's what I'm hearing.
Or your body is banged up and my body is better.
See, this wasn't supposed to be that.
I'm sorry, you're right.
This wasn't that.
Go ahead. I apologize.
That's crazy.
Legs.
No, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I don't want to talk about it no more.
It's okay.
I don't want to talk about it no more. If that's how we're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? I thought we was loving on one another today, but I guess not. Guess we beefing
Maybe
today.
tomorrow.
Guess we did maybe tomorrow. It was crazy. Maybe Friday, because knowing life, we probably won't talk tomorrow. I still love you though. We still love each other. I think you still love me, P. We still good.
We'll see.
Sheesh.
No, I absolutely, I love you. I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay. All right. Just checking. I might be coaching high school football.
Oh.
Might be coaching high
I need
school
to run something
football.
by you too.
Okay.
This will determine whether I still love you or not.
Sheesh.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
But
we go
high
there now.
school.
No, we can go there now.
No. This is like off topic.
No. Okay. I mean, now I'm curious. See, this is the thing. See, I hate this, right? We're gonna go this route for our ish to shoot today.
No, we're gonna talk about
we can. No, one thing that I hate, bro, is my wife when she texts me, be like, "Hey, yo, we gotta talk." My brain immediately goes to worst case scenario.
Same.
I'd be like, "Did I do something that I don't remember? What did I do? What happened? Are you on divorce? You leaving me, bro?" Like, literally goes to worst case scenario, bro, every time.
No,
and she's
I
like,
feel
"No,
the same
it's
way.
just like Scarlett did this, and we need to take care of this." Yeah. I'm like, oh.
I feel the same way.
I
hate that I do that to people because I also feel like anytime that happens, like I feel like the world is crumbling. So I apologize that I just did that to you. But of course, it's business offside the screen, so I don't want to talk about it like in live.
Yeah, no, my stomach. I mean, and not necessarily this situation, but usually when wifey's like that, get a big old pit in my stomach. Like, dang. Like, and usually I'm not like I did something. I was like trying to hide something either. It's just like, did I?
No, it's always
like,
the case.
I'm just like, bro, what did I do? What did I miss? What did I forget?
I would rather you just say we need to talk. Like if my wife says we need to talk, like I will call her immediately and be like, "What do you need to talk about?" And if she can't, then I'm like, "Give me the gist of what you need to talk to me about in like 30 seconds, real quick,
quick notes,
highlights. What are we talking about?"
We got to talk about Scarlett's gymnastics. Oh, okay. We got to talk about the pool.
My thing is, I'm like that though. So why would you even do that?
Yeah, she knows. My wife knows the same way. Same way. So
I can't deal with that. My anxiety will have me up to here.
Yeah.
So no, I feel you on that.
Yeah, that was
high school though.
Yeah, no, there's funny enough, and this is nothing set in stone. It's not official. I just went up there today. Today is June 24th, so we'll see what happens by the time this comes out. But went to high school today. Funny enough, one of the pastors of the church that I've been going to lately goes to the gym with me in the morning, same time. And his brother is
senior pastor.
No,
just curious. Okay.
Yeah, no. His brother though is the principal at a high school. And then the head coach of the football team is actually the brother of Will Compton, who played in the NFL. And I never played with Will, but obviously know of Will. Shout out to Bussin' with the Boys. But he played at Tennessee too. So it was just like, I forgot that Will was from out here. Or I don't even say forgot. I didn't know Will was from out here. But it was just a small world that someone I know. And me and Will aren't like buddies. We don't really know each other. We've said hi, you know what I'm saying? But we've never played with each other, probably played against each other. But it's funny that, I know I could be coaching at the school that Will Compton went to and his brother is the head coach of. So, but that happened today. It was more of a checking it out kind of situation. So might go coach there, maybe even substitute teach every now and again and just help out. Yeah.
You said high school?
Yeah, high school.
Oh, you're gonna have to put your fist through some of them folks' chest.
Listen, go. I might have to wear a cutoff to work. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Summertime.
Can't listen, bro. I can't deal with kids. Not at my age.
I think the reason I'm somewhat excited about it.
Yeah, you should be.
Is I had a coach. Shout out to Bradley Coons, Big Coons, we called him, who came towards the end of my high school career. He played college ball at Miami, and he was like a big impact, a big influence in my life. As far as my faith, as far as football, as far as helping me, pursue college ball, and then obviously further on down the road, it's like a big brother in a sense. And so to be able to pass that on, to pay that forward from what he did for me, and pay that forward to some kids, it's always been something I've thought about too in the past. Kind of wanted to start my own gym, and train kids, and like may not necessarily be associated with a school or a team or whatever, but like I have kids from all over I could make an impact on and maybe not so much out here. I doubt. I mean, maybe I could out here. I don't know. I don't think there's enough to do that out here, but possibly. You never know. So, just to pay that forward, pass that on. I'm kind of excited about it. Nothing's set in stone. It's not for sure happening. They for sure want me. Got to talk to wifey, figure out some other stuff that we're trying to do, want to do, and if it fits. So,
how big is the high school?
Not a very big school. Very building, big. Team, not big. It's got a nice facility. I pulled around, so when I was driving up, I couldn't see because all the trees. We in the middle of nowhere, we in the forest. Not everyone's a forest, but there was a whole bunch of trees, it was beautiful. And I turned the corner, and there's a big old arch. I said, "Yo, what? Where did this school come from?"
So the school is nice.
The school is nice. School is nice, and not like nice. But it was.
We're not talking about like them Texas like high schools. That
no,
are,
no,
built for.
No, definitely not that. But nice, much
football.
nicer than I thought. Much bigger than I thought. And not that I was thinking anything bad about the school. The school I went to was not this nice. And I grew up in a small town. So,
have you looked at the record or like what is the team looking like?
They're solid. Nothing crazy. Not. I mean, I don't know. They had a quarterback that got talking to some schools, some college schools. He's a senior. One of them said this probably is probably the best athlete they have on the team. They got a linebacker that's pretty solid apparently too. When I went to visit today, they were kind of doing some workout stuff, but I didn't see a ton, so I can't say much.
Didn't see a ton is like you didn't like see a ton,
I didn't see a ton. No, not potential. Like I wasn't there for long to see. I wasn't there for long to physically see what they could do, and it's still like in a sense OTAs. Right, so it's nothing. They're not full go. They're not tackling each other. Not hitting each other. Not doing like that. I'm not really seeing stuff. It was what I saw was kind of 2 drills that they did, and then I left. So, met the AD, walked around with him. It was cool. So we'll see what happens. Could potentially be a thing. Could not. I don't know. They were excited. They would love to have me. I would be excited to help out and see what I could do there.
Well, you wouldn't be helping; you would be coaching, like as head coach. This is head coach, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Assistant coach. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Nah, definitely not. Nah, I'd be assistant coach.
Why you wouldn't want to do head coach?
Nah, I mean maybe eventually. I don't know. I mean, I just got done coaching. It was like, yeah, coaching ain't for me. Yeah. But that was a different level.
That's different.
A lot of different things go into place with that, which I could very well go back to doing that too. I don't know. So, but right now, no, definitely not. Just about to hop in and take over a head coach's spot. Absolutely not. And again, the head coach is the brother of I don't want to say former teammate, but former colleague of mine. Yeah. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. That's my ish to shoot today. That was my ish. So
that's what's up. That's good stuff. You guys, I have nothing. Nada. It's just been work.
Didn't you have a phone call?
I had a phone interview. It went well. Waiting for the hiring manager to call me. Other than that,
nada. How long did it take to call back?
It could take a minute. I was a manager once. Sometimes you get a whole lot of candidates and you got to sift through all of those. And so it depends. I might not get a call at all. Plus it's an hour away from home. Oh, so word? as a manager, like I would look at that too. I was like, I'm not finna hire nobody that got to travel like no more than 30 minutes. So like I get the other side of it for sure.
Go back to the old spot.
They already have somebody.
Tell them they're not better than you.
She's really good. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm sure she's good.
Really good.
I'm sure she's really good.
We have our strengths. We have our strengths. I'm stronger than her people skills for sure. But as far as like, she's just been doing it longer. She's been doing it way longer. We're talking 15, 20 years in.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
I've only been doing it 3.
Sure. Sounds good.
But it depends. Like I said, we'll see if there's something else. But for right now, I'm here. I am here. And God knows I am here. Those of you that know the words of prayer, jeez. But I'm excited for next week. So yeah. Well, I mean, you got good things popping out for you. So I'm super, super happy for you. That's really dope.
Yeah, we're both excited for next week. Which by the time y'all see this was like a month ago or 2. Probably not 2 months ago, but a month ago. Anime Expo. which was fire. It was amazing. Great things happened. Big things happened. Had a great time. Grand time. I'm just speaking it. This is probably going to be one of my favorite anime impacts that I've done. Maybe not number one. I still think the FMAB one is like my still hands down my favorite one that I've done. The Scar one was definitely up there as well. But this might be my favorite just because of kind of where it's going in the verses that I use. And funny enough, I didn't mention it in here, but the scripture that one of the key scriptures I'm going to use is I first heard it from Assassin's Creed, and I believe it was the first Assassin's Creed. So there's like I never realized when I heard it, I didn't know it was a Bible verse, and eventually I saw, I was like, wait, this is from Assassin's Creed. Which one was first? And obviously it's in the freaking Bible, Joseph. It's the Bible is first, but it was just interesting to me that Assassin's Creed was the first time that I had heard it. But without further ado, have you ever noticed that some of the most tragic moments in anime don't happen because a character is weak? They usually happen because a character is strong enough to do something that they never should have done in the first place. Anime has shown us time and time again that many things are possible, but not everything is beneficial. Some of the greatest downfalls in anime happen when characters allow anger, grief, pride, or the desire for power to convince them that the wrong path is actually the right one. Sasuke Uchiha was consumed by anger and his desire for revenge, first against his brother for slaughtering the Uchiha clan, and eventually against the Hidden Leaf village itself. In his pursuit of power, he repeatedly chose the quick, dangerous, and destructive path. He embraced the curse mark, he followed Orochimaru, abandoned his friends, and even attacked the 5 Kage summit. Each decision promised him greater power, but also pushed him further away from the people who cared about him. Edward and Alphonse Elric were overcome by grief after losing their mother. Desperate to undo their loss, they ignored what they knew to be wrong and committed the ultimate taboo, human transmutation. They believed they had found a way around grief, loss, and death itself. Light Yagami initially dismissed the Death Note as a childish prank, but curiosity got the better of him. Once he discovered the notebook's true power, his desire for justice slowly transformed into a desire for control. What began as an attempt to create a better world eventually became a pursuit of absolute power, as Light elevated himself to the position of judge, jury, and executioner. Proverbs 14:12 says, "There is a way which seems right to a man, but its end is the way of death." Sasuke's path of revenge repeatedly brought him face to face with death. Time and time again, he survived only because of the intervention of others. His choices not only endangered himself, but also the friends and allies who cared about him. Edward and Alphonse paid a devastating price for their attempt to bypass the natural order. Alphonse lost his entire body, and Edward lost his leg, and later sacrificed his arm to save his brother. Their actions left scars that were not only physical, but emotional and spiritual as well. Light possessed the power to influence not only Japan, but the entire world. Yet the very power he believed would save humanity ultimately corrupted him. In his pursuit of justice, he lost his humility, his relationships, and ultimately his own soul. 1 Corinthians 10:23 says, "All things are permitted, but not all things are beneficial. All things are permitted, but not all things build people up." That's the lesson these characters had to learn the hard way. Sasuke could pursue revenge. Edward and Alphonse could attempt human transmutation. Light could use the Death Note. The question was never whether they could. The question was whether they should. And that's the question many of us face every day. Sin often presents itself as attractive, pleasurable, convenient, or even justified. It offers shortcuts. It promises power. It promises satisfaction. And it promises that our way is better than God's way. But Scripture reminds us that just because something feels right doesn't mean it is right. Apart from God's wisdom, the path that seems best to us may actually be leading us towards destruction. So don't grow weary in doing what is right, even when the right path is the harder path. Trust God's wisdom over your own understanding. Continue pursuing him, even when shortcuts seem more appealing. Because while the easy path often leads to regret, God's path leads to growth, purpose, and ultimately a blessing for those who love him and are called according to his purpose. That's my anime impact. So everything is all things. I think the way they said it was all things were permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Is what I had heard in Assassin's Creed. It was like in the very, very beginning of the video game, and I was like, that's actually kind of dope. Like we have the free will to do whatever the heck it is we want. Doesn't always mean we should. doesn't always mean we should.
Absolutely. Even just going down like the path, I again, we always say like the path is the path, but like sometimes you can get deterred, and I do believe like you're going to end up where you're supposed to go, regardless of how you necessarily go. But sometimes like God has a route that it's better for you to take, and sometimes we will get out of the will, which God will align us like quick, fast, in a hurry, especially like if we align back with him. But it's just so much more easier and so much more beneficial to trust God, even like when you don't know, when you can't see, when you don't know where you're going. And even when temptation is like, I promise you, this is the easier way, this is the easier route. It's a lot more beneficial just to trust God and knowing that like he is the ultimate path, he is your ultimate eyes. And he has great things in store for you if you follow like the path that he has. That's really good.
Yeah,
and that's a lesson for me. So
yeah, and I would say not that it's always easier following his way, right? Because at least in the moment, right, in that time, it's like, dang, if I just did it this way, it'd be so much quicker, right? Or it's so much easier this way, right? But like at the end of the day, is where like, oh, I thought this easy way was going to get me there, but at the end of the day, the harder path, the road less traveled, is really the road that's going to lead to where you want to truly go. So.
Well, yeah, and I can say that I can see that twofold for sure. I don't want to say like it was the easier path for sure. I guess what I am saying is that the more you grow in him, the more you find out that like his path for me is the easier choice, because he's proved himself time and time again that if you trust me, I got it. As opposed to like trying to trust your own gut. I think it becomes a lot more easier. And I'm not saying sometimes I do think I have all the answers. Sometimes I do think I'm right. And sometimes I do think, hey, yo, guy, you not moving fast enough. Let me help you out real quick. But say that to say like God's path is still like the ultimate way to go. So and again, I learned that lesson the hard way, because now I am at a job that I'm like, should have listened.
I think we're all learning that lesson continuously. I think time and time again, I've like, all right, thanks, Lord, for getting me here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go do my thing, forgetting that from here. Right, forgetting that the reason I even got to this point is because he got me here, right? And so it's a lesson. Trusting the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your understanding.
All your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path.
Yeah,
that is biblical. That is the word, you guys.
Yeah. So, all right, Terrell, you're up, brother.
Hi, Anime Impact. I am talking about one of my favorite characters, one of my most favorite characters in One Piece.
So he lied.
And no, it's not Brook.
Yeah. Oh, no, are you actually talking about a favorite character, or are you just gassing it?
To talk one of my favorite characters.
Okay.
You guys, we're talking Usopp today.
Of course.
We're talking Usopp, and he's going to bless your soul like he blessed mine. Let's start. You ever feel like you're not enough? Like everyone else has something special to offer, and you're just there. For me, that is why I like Usopp. Think about it. He's on the crew with a future pirate king, a swordsman who can cut steel, a cook who can fight entire armies, a navigator who can predict any type of weather, and then there's Usopp. No devil fruit, no insane strength, no real legendary lineage, just a regular guy trying to keep up. And if we're being honest, a lot of us feel like Usopp. We look around and we see everybody's gifts. We see everybody else's success. We see everybody else's calling. And we start asking, what do I bring to the table? Why am I here? Would anybody even notice me if I was gone? But here's what Usopp teaches us. Your value is not determined by your comparison. Because while Usopp was focused on what he wasn't, his crew was constantly benefiting from who he was. Let's rewind back a little bit. Remember Eni's lobby? Robin had given up on herself, but it was Usopp who shot down the world government flag. Not Luffy, not Zoro, not Sanji, but Usopp. That single shot told Robin, we're declaring war on the world for you. Remember Dressrosa? Thousands of people were turned into toys and forgotten. The entire operation was about to fall. And it was Usopp's shot who saved everybody. Remember Thriller Bark? Perona's powers worked on everyone else, but Usopp's negative personality made him immune. The thing that he hated about himself became the very thing that saved his crew, which honestly is another sermon for another day. So I will write that down. And don't even get me started on his inventions. Nami uses one of his inventions to this very day. Over and over again, the Straw Hats survived because Usopp brought something that nobody else could. And maybe somebody needs to hear this. The thing that you're insecure about today may be the very thing that God uses tomorrow. Because the kingdom of God isn't built on everyone being the same, but it's built on what you can bring as an individual. 1 Corinthians 12:21 says, the eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. And the head cannot say to the feet, I don't need you. God never intended for the hand to be the eye or the foot to be the ear. And Usopp was never supposed to be Luffy. The Straw Hat doesn't need another captain. It needs a sniper. So maybe that's the lesson today. Stop measuring your worth by what you don't have. Stop comparing your chapter to someone else's. Because while you're busy focusing on your weakness, God is already using your strengths. You may not be the strongest person in the room. You may not be the most talented. You may not be the most gifted. But that doesn't mean that you're not necessary. Because just like Usopp, you matter more than what you think. And people around you may be benefiting from your presence in ways you will never fully realize. And that is my anime impact. Shout out Usopp.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, I know you got something to say. I know you got something to say.
I got nothing to say. Not a daggone thing.
So I had to call back some things to people's remembrance because we forget.
Listen, ain't nobody forgot nothing.
We forget.
Ain't nobody forgot nothing. We're just waiting for another moment.
That's fine. Still need it. Still need it. And just like you, guys, you are needed. Regardless of what you think.
For sure.
You are needed.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. I got another one for Zenitsu that I started writing up to.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait. Yeah, it's gonna be fire. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fire.
Oh, yep. I know.
Listen, I'm in agreement with you, brother.
I feel you.
Okay.
I feel you. I'm finna do a series of sad characters.
Oh, you admit they're sad?
What people think are sad. I don't think Usopp is sad. For sure. But I go along with what people think. And people think that Usopp is a sad character. Why would you do that?
If you don't believe it, don't go along with it.
I don't. I just did an anime impact on why I don't.
I mean, you just said you go along with what people think.
Well, because I gotta, the masses think he's sad, and I got, I'm sure the masses say he's sad, but this anime impact that I just did.
So you're gonna do Zenitsu, then Takamichi, then
I could do one on Takamichi easily. That's not an issue.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I think it'd be great. I was just naming off some characters as well that I anticipate you doing some impacts for. Yeah.
Could think of some other ones. I might do one on multi too. I think there's a lesson in that.
No.
Oh, there's a lesson in that as well. Oh, I'm not saying it's a good lesson. There's a lesson in it though.
For multi or for our MC?
Oh, probably for the MC, not probably, but for the MC. But like, there's not a lesson that like I can. I mean,
no.
I could probably pull some out. I got one on Hisoka that I really want to do, but it's like really like borderline and so like I've had this typed up since I started the Hunter x Hunter joint.
I was curious. Now I'm curious. I feel like you got to bring it back.
Yeah, I've had that joint like typed up since I did the all of the Hunter x Hunter joints. But the more I read it, I was like, I don't know if people going.
Hey, yo, in the comments, let us know if you want P to do the Hisoka one. Let us know. Drop Hisoka's. Like drop Hisoka's down in the comments.
I actually enjoyed that one. That's probably my favorite one out of all of them.
The one you just did or Hisoka?
No, Hisoka. Out of the Hunter x Hunter series. Yeah, people, I just don't know. So
I ain't worry about people. But yeah. All right, let's move on. All right, y'all. What I'm reading, man. And I've been reading this one for a while, and I wasn't sure I was gonna do it on this one, but I do like it. You guys have seen at this point that I do, very similar what I'm reading, because most of what I read is very similar. There's Joe-esque type of reads. So I did pick up One Piece again though. I don't know if you saw my text, P.
I did.
Of them text bubbles, brother. Bro, half the dang. I can't even. You got so much text bubbles. The picture is so zoomed out. I can't even tell who talking.
I mean, you gotta either read it on like
I got an iPad.
Like I somewhat
laptop.
read it on my phone, but also like I read it multiple times just to make sure like I kind of got it down pat, because
like,
it's hard
dang.
to follow panels on your phone.
Oh my gosh!
Text.
Now, mind you, I'm enjoying. I love One Piece, y'all. So hey, chill out.
It's almost worse than Hunter x Hunter at this point. Well, no, it's not worse than Hunter x Hunter as far as reading.
Hey,
Hunter x Hunter, like
back,
there's a
which is back.
It's not back yet.
Jump.
It's not
By
back
the
yet.
time this, I believe so.
We'll see. Let's keep praying, because
keep praying. It's already been announced. Why you acting?
There were plenty of times that it was announced, and
no, there wasn't.
Right on back.
Chill out. You stop.
Right on back.
Stop it, Terrell. Stop it.
Realist, man.
Stop it. There's no the realistic view is it is literally back.
It said that last time.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I could have sworn it did.
No, it didn't. It's okay.
Okay, sure.
It's okay.
Sure.
It's all right.
We pray to God that it's back.
According to what I'm reading, y'all. What I'm reading, okay.
Not Hunter, because we know what I mean.
Imagine the apocalypse starts right outside. I hate you, bro. I hate you so much. But I love you, brother. I love you nonetheless. Imagine the apocalypse starts right outside your front door. Monsters are running through the streets. The city is falling apart. People are fighting just to survive. And somehow, the safest place in the world is your apartment. That is the setup for this webtoon. Jae-hun is a recluse living in Busan, South Korea, whose life changes when the outside world is suddenly overrun by monsters. But unlike most apocalypse stories, Jae-hun is not immediately forced to run outside, grab a weapon, and become some fearless warrior. Instead, he awakens an ability that makes him the absolute ruler of his apartment building. His home becomes his territory, his apartment becomes his fortress, his couch becomes his command center. And from inside the one place he has always stayed hidden, Jae-hun gains the power to kill monsters, protect others, and slowly expand his domain. But there's a major catch. He cannot leave his apartment. So even though he has an incredibly powerful ability, he is still trapped by the very place that protects him. And that limitation is what makes the story interesting. Jae-hun has to learn how to survive through strategy, how to arm and guide the people around him, and how to lead when he cannot physically stand beside everyone on the battlefield. This webtoon takes the idea of a shut-in character and flips it into a survival leadership story. It tackles isolation, fear, community, and responsibility, and what it means to protect people when your greatest strength is also your biggest weakness. If you enjoy apocalypse stories, monster survival, territory-based abilities, and a main character who has to outthink danger instead of simply overpowering it, then you're definitely going to want to check out The Ultimate Shut-In. The Ultimate Shut-In. You can read it digitally on Webtoons.
That actually sounds pretty good. Not gonna lie to you, that sounds pretty good.
It's different. It takes a typical, genre and flips it on its head a little bit, and I've enjoyed it for sure. I've definitely enjoyed it.
That sounds good. I actually might pick that one up. Not gonna lie to you, that really sounds good. Which is crazy because I haven't read anything like 2 weeks. Like legit, haven't read anything.
Yeah,
been trying to catch up on Delicious in Dungeon. I don't know if I'll finish that before.
I gotta watch that. I'll probably start next week.
I was trying to catch up on Bleach. What do you mean next week? Next week we leave.
Yeah, I know. How many episodes is there?
25.
Damn. That plane ride is gonna be nothing but Delicious in Dungeon.
25. So
I'm gonna start. I gotta finish the spring season. Classroom Elite just ended.
I haven't picked that up since episode 4.
You're missing out because Ayana Koji's about to drop a bomb on somebody, bro.
Yeah, no, I haven't checked that out yet. I'm waiting for it to get dubbed. I refuse to watch it in sub.
Akane Banashi ended. It was good. I'm excited for season
the dub
2.
on that.
Dub's out.
Is it? Okay. Then I'll start. Where's it at?
It's got like 5 episodes.
Okay. I need to start it. So what's that, Disney Plus?
I don't remember.
Okay. I thought it was Disney Plus, but I
I
can't
think
remember.
I think it is. I can't remember, bro. I'd be hopping from like site to site,
Yeah,
subscription to subscription,
I am
Crunchyroll,
so
Netflix,
behind.
Hulu, HBO. Because I got to go to HBO for Nippon
I'm
Sengoku.
I'm probably three,
Oh
four
boy,
episodes behind that.
I love that show, bro. I
I'll
love
probably
that
catch
show
up. I'll see if I can catch up this weekend. But there's so much I need to
so
catch up
much,
on.
so much. Yeah,
I just
I
have
probably
not
won't
had
catch
time.
up on Bleach. Unfortunately, I know the movie just obviously dropped.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that got to go to that, which just looked dope.
Yeah.
Because that was the end, right?
Yes, I do.
I
Honestly,
believe
I don't know.
I believe so. Based on what I had heard someone say, um, in one of the interviewing, dang, is it Young Bosch? I forgot his first name for some reason. Is it Chris? I think it's Chris Young Bosch. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. I'll fix that. But someone had asked him, how does it feel, about the series ending or something like that on the big screen. And but I do need to pick that back up because I remember the last thing I saw was Uabach, or however you pronounce his name, that man's name,
You
Quincy
Baja.
King, and the
Ichibe,
yeah,
the
the
dude
paint
with the painter.
the yeah.
Ichibe. Yeah.
I never finished that fight, but that was the last thing I remember
That's
watching.
really
Like
good
they
fight.
just started.
Yeah, I need to catch up. Also, I will be talking to Perry because at this point, I will fly out to spend a day if I can get to some of these daggone.
Oh yeah,
Um,
but I was in LA.
I will fly out. I was talking to my
So,
wife. I was like, "Hey,"
yeah.
and she was like, "Can I tag?" And I was like, "Sure." All right. Creator spotlight. A lot of people know him from the Walls Group, but he has really built his own lane as a solo artist, creator, and an anime fan. If you have followed him for any amount of time, you know that anime is just something that he doesn't casually watch. But he also shows love to the culture. He talks anime, um, and I'll get into his music later. But like, you just know that he is just not like your traditional fan. Like, dude is a fellow anime lover. Um, Plus, it's always dope seeing someone who can move between music, faith, anime while completely being themselves. And musically, bruh, first of all, this dude's voice is ridiculous. Tone out of this world. Again, one of my favorite male singers. Like, dude is like legit like that. But he also has some incredible projects out. One of my personal favorites is his self-titled Alec. And again, with me saying that like he is unapologetically an anime fan, one of his songs on Alec, the self-entitled Alec, is called Super Saiyan 3. Again, dope. But he also has like albums called Walls, which is stupid dope. He just dropped a new project called MIDI. I think it's worth checking out. Like, again, music is phenomenal. What I respect most though is whether he's making music, talking anime, or sharing his thoughts with his audience, it always comes across as authentic. You never get a sense that he's trying to be anybody else. And again, even when I used to do Instagram lives, he was one of the first guests that I brought on Instagram Live. It was legit. I think it was me, him, and Josh 2800. And bro, we just yucked it up about music, and I think I still got clips of that, but we just yucked it up about music, and yucked it up about anime. So for this creator spotlight, I wanted to show love to none other than Alec Walls. He is an incredibly talented artist, anime fan, and a creator who continues to make an impact in both music and his presence in the anime community as well.
I don't. I feel like I might have crossed paths with Alec once on one of your lives, but
It might have been you too. I can't remember. Like,
it might
I
have been.
still
You know,
got it, but
it was you three. I think I might have hopped in later, like towards the end
okay,
of it.
that might have been it.
But I know I've crossed paths with him once, but I didn't know much about him until obviously through you. So once you said the Walls group, I was like, is that Alec? Like I said, I haven't followed him much. Think I do follow him, but haven't really heard his music other than some stuff that he may have posted on social media here and there. But
And the type of guy you are, you would 100% like his music.
okay,
100%.
Well, then I will go
And
check them
I'm
out.
not saying that like very just very in the cut, very like rides beat very well, has a little bit of singing, but also like talented rapper as well.
Okay.
Like he's really good. Really a really good talent.
So we're back with another tier list. So we're back with another tier list, guys. Another relatable character tier list, and this time we went shonen side characters. Just to play off of the main character ones that we did that you guys seem to enjoy. Shout out to one of our mods, Joel, for creating this tier list for us yet again. So let's get into it. Sasuke Uchiha is the first character we have on this tier list. I like Sasuke as relatable character. I don't think he's extremely. I think there's some stuff. I mean, if we think about it, right? I mean, he's got obviously the family trauma, right? Not everyone's gonna have their entire family murked by someone in the family, but having a big brother that's basically the disappointment or someone you looked up to completely fail you in a sense, completely do a whole 180 from who you thought they were to what they are now and what they truly are. I think is a relatable thing. Having that idol, that figure that you looked up to, not live up to the standard that you held them to. Obviously, the then anger after the loss, one of the stages of grief, right? That he's mainly going through, and then obviously he works through that because of the friendships that eventually he listens to. I know so many people was like, well, we'll fight it, and I'll fight it too. Like, is Naruto really his friend? Are they truly his friends up until the point? Because you're not really putting a hole through your friend's chest, bro. You're just not. But for the sake of where the story goes and where the anime goes, like, you, because of hurt people, right? So he took his hurt out on those who were trying to help him and then hurt those people. So he's, struggling to accept love. I think a big one that we sleep on is his comparison to Naruto. At one point, he begins to start feeling inferior, right? He was the top tier guy, right? Everyone in class is talking about Sasuke. Sasuke's this, Sasuke's that. Oh my God, the Uchiha. Sasuke is like the greatest thing since sliced bread. And now here comes Naruto, who was, the bottom, literally the bottom, the worst of the worst, the food that no one wants to touch, right? And now he's working his way up to the point where he surpasses Sasuke, right? They had that whole clash or almost clash on the roof where they almost hurt Sakura and Kakashi throws him into the water towers. And he realizes, dang, Naruto has surpassed me. Like, I would have been the one that got wrecked when I thought I was the one that was setting the bar, setting the standard. I think he's just lost. I think he's a person that he's just lost. And not to his own fault, but because victim of circumstances, and he loses himself. And so a lot of those things are, I think, again, we're going to do this with all these characters. There are aspects to everything. There's going to be someone out there that relates to Sasuke. There's always going to be someone that relates to most of these characters. Hopefully you don't relate to a multi, like P brought up earlier, talking about doing a anime impact with her. But like,
it's going to be good, guys.
But I think most of these characters, everyone on this list for sure, has some degree of relatability to them. I just think those are the things that I see that cause Sasuke to be relatable. Now, is relatable to everybody? Is he a common relatability? I don't think he's top 5, top 10. But I do think he's up there, top 15.
Okay, so the more I did some digging in, the more I did a little bit of research, the more I am prone to put him in top 10. Crazy enough, because I am not a big Sasuke fan.
You're not?
I'm not, but I did a little bit of research and just some things that have happened in my childhood and in my life kind of makes me relate a little bit more. For me, Sasuke is somebody that cannot move past childhood trauma or a major setback in life. He has to bring it up at not even bring it up at every cost, but there is something about him that he just can't get over it. If I can speak candidly and speak clear for me, I have had childhood issues, I've had childhood trauma, and I've had major life setbacks that like I am now just starting to try to get over. Again, you guys have heard me say a plethora of times, I got daddy issues, for sure. There were also childhood trauma things of me feeling inferior and me feeling inadequate and me feeling like, again, like Usopp with my anime impact, feeling like I don't have anything to offer while everybody else has like these extraordinary gifts. And I'm not saying that that's Sasuke, but what I am saying is that he's had major setbacks and he has had major childhood trauma that he can't jump the hurdle over. And I think everybody can experience that level of hurt. Again, I'm not saying that your brother has caused mass murder or anything, which some people have. I don't know. But what I am saying
So
that
all these serial killers got family.
I'm just saying, but all I'm saying is that like there has been something in everybody's life that you have had some type of trauma or some type of setback that was incredibly hard to get over. Number one. Number two, pushing people away because of your trauma. Sasuke pushed everybody that loved him away because of his trauma. For me, two things: when I am depressed, I will push people far away. I don't, and I will like purposely push people far away. I won't pick up the phone. I will be very moody. I will be very snappy. I will do whatever I can to push somebody away. Number one, but number two, I also feel like as men folk, anytime we get into a situation that we can't necessarily handle or that we feel we can't handle, we will isolate ourselves, number one. But number two, we will push ourselves farther away from the people who are trying to care for us and that are trying to love us. Number two. Lastly, ultimately, revenge doesn't work out. And I'm not saying that everybody like tries to go the revenge route, but I think sometimes we try to get closure in the worst ways possible instead of like actually getting closure that will like heal us from within. And I think Sasuke kind of realized that the closure that he was trying to get wasn't necessarily working for him. Revenge was not the move for him. And again, I think he realized that towards the end of Naruto going into Boruto. But he was very revenge driven. And I think eventually he found out like, bro, that was not the route to go. So just those couple of things for me made Sasuke incredibly relatable. I think for me, he's past top 15. I would put him in top 10. I don't think I would go as close to top 5 right now. We might have to like reconfigure, but I think he's top 10 for sure.
Okay. I mean, I'm not mad at top 10. I could see it. I mean, I think he's the first character, so we'll have to, like you said, we'll have to reconfigure. So
yeah,
we could put him top 10 for now.
You still would have him at 15?
I think he'll play out at 15. But again, he's the first character. He's got to go somewhere.
I don't know, man.
We'll
I think people resonate with him a lot more than what we give credit. I think we always just see like whiny kid, but also like I know people who are in their 40s,
think about the whiny kid part,
50s. But so. I'm just saying, I think, for me, I think like a lot of times, well, not necessarily you, but I see a lot of people say that he's just a brat that didn't like, yeah, you had trauma, get over it. But I know a lot of people who are old and still have not gotten over their trauma.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that that's super duper relatable.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's an aspect to both sides of that, right? Because yeah. I think Sasuke took his, and not that, you know, people deal with trauma differently. I think Sasuke took his trauma to a level that most people may not take it to. And it's anime, right? So obviously everything's to the extreme, but
yeah, to the extreme.
I think that's the biggest thing is like he did too much. But you know,
it might be to the extreme, but and again, it might be to the extreme, but like for us, if we put that in the real world, like I know people who have like, again, like I won't talk to my mother, I won't talk to my father, I won't talk to my siblings, I will push everybody away. Like it might not be to that extreme to where like you want to, of course, like conquer the world or like kill
I
off
think
folk.
that's the part. I
But
think that's the extreme part. It's like everyone, obviously, again, you might push people away, and sometimes you seek revenge. But I think even
but I think revenge can be just as petty as like me not going to see my daddy on his
right,
deathbed and still going to his funeral.
yeah, sure. I think again, it's just the extremes that Sasuke went to.
Oh, we're going to
Um,
see extremes, and like you said, we're going to see
right.
extremes in anime. Like I think if we start to hold it to that high regards, then I think it's going to be very hard to make anybody relatable
Yeah.
because anime takes it to that extreme.
Yeah.
But I feel it.
All right. Next on the list is Killua Zoldyck.
Killua is a tricky one for me. I think that now again, you guys, I just want to preface this by saying we are talking relatable. We're not talking top anime side characters. We're saying if they are relatable or not. I just want to throw that out there. With that being said, one of the bigger things that I can relate to Killua, or that not even necessarily I can relate to Killua on, but like I know people who can relate on that level is expectations of family. Um, your family sometimes wants you to do what they think is best for you, whether that's you going to school to be a doctor, you playing sports, you going into music. A lot of the times, and I won't say like rarely, but there are times to where you struggle with what you want to do in life because your family, your mom, your dad feels as though they know best for you and they will imbue their thoughts and their plans on you as the child. And I see that is what Killua had to go through a lot. Pretty much I equate it to like your parents, again, defining what school you go to, defining your career path, even life. Sometimes your parents will make you marry who they want you to marry. Um, Again, too, I think Killua also expresses that it is very hard for him to like really come to grips with who he is because of the family trauma, because of his brother like implanting the needles in his head. It wasn't until that he removed the needles that he fully like started to become like who he truly is. And I think again we can relate to that a lot. Young men, young women struggle with identity. And I think Killua um portrays that very well. Again, if we're going back to the family, breaking family cycles, breaking generational curses. Again, Killua's parents, family are a bunch of assassins, and Killua is not necessarily that guy. And so I know a lot of people like they were like, first generation A, go to college, go to the army, do all these kinds of things. I think Killua is that type of character to where it's like I don't subscribe to what you guys are doing, but also like I want to like do what I'm doing as well. So breaking like those unhealthy habits that his family held him to, um I think he portrays that very well. So I will say Killua. I think Killua is relatable. I don't know where yet, but I do think he's relatable.
Okay. I think you hit a lot of it on the head. The family, I think, is not the biggest, but one of the biggest thing that leads to all the other things that deal with Killer. Right? Again, like you brought up his family, they have the way that they're supposed to live. They want him to live, and he's trying to fight off that. Right. But not only that, he has people in his family that are supposed to love him and take care of him and guide him, putting him down, right? You mentioned Illumi with the needle in his head, right? I think of people whose family, someone's trying to do better for their life, but their family's constantly trying to hold them back and keep them, whether they're trying to get out of the projects, to get out of this, like try to do better for life. I thought one of the first people I thought of for whatever reason was Precious, the movie Precious, right? Like her mom was constantly berating her, beating her down. That's the brother, right? You're not good enough. You can't ever have friends. You can't do this. And Killua starts to believe those things. Killua doesn't believe he's good enough for Gon. Right? He doesn't believe he's good enough to have friends. He struggles with his self-worth in general, right? Like if I don't be an assassin, which is what my entire life has been up until this point, my family's tried to get me to do, what am I? What can I do? Right? I think he's also very, he isn't allowed to be a kid, right? He's not allowed to have friends and go do whatever the heck it is he wants to do. He has to live this structured life and do what he's told to do.
I mean,
Um,
I like the fact that you touched on Illumi, because sometimes, and I think that's like the crazy part to family, but also again just relatable, is that Illumi did it like not necessarily to like make Killua like he did it because he wanted to protect Killua according to like what he thought. And I think a lot of times like family wants you, they want you to follow this particular path because they care for you that much to where like I know if you don't do this, or if you, I know you can be successful in this, but I know if you veer from this path, now my hands are off you and I don't know like what will happen. So I think Illumi like kind of like tried to portray like that kind of love on Killua. Now, am I saying that
yeah,
that is love? Not at all, but it's crazy what the mind will actually tell you and what you think love is compared to like what it actually
yeah.
is.
I think it's more of they put him in a box. They didn't allow him to be an individual, which I get. That kind of family, that kind of association, like that's what you guys do. That's what who the Zoldlik family is, right? I think less about love and more about this is what we do and you have to do it this way is what Illumi was going towards. And he tried to use his Killua's upbringing and life to restrict him from truly becoming friends with Gon until Killua decided to overcome that. So, yeah, I wouldn't put Killua in top 10 personally. I think he's a top 15 character. Maybe he'd move up or down based on what's going on, but I for sure think he's top 15.
I agree with that. Next, we have Joe's absolutely, positively his favorite character in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Don't know if he's going to be that relatable. We have Colonel Roy Mustang.
He's not my favorite character, but the best character in the show. And he definitely has relatable aspects to him. A man who is driven by his guilt, right? Forced to partake in something that he didn't want to, whether he did or not, right? But he knew that it was wrong. We talked about, taking the wrong path, right? Talked about in my anime impact, but choosing to decide, you know what, the buck stops here with me. This is the end of it. I'm not doing this again. From now on, I'm going to basically from the inside work and fix the system. People tried. Like I think of Garp is another character that tries to do the same thing, but like we get caught in a situation that whether we chose to be there or shouldn't have been there or forced to be there, and we make the wrong decisions. We make the wrong choices in life, and that happens to people depending on where you grew up, depending on where you lived, and how things were for you. Like sometimes you just didn't have a choice. And Roy was one of those people, but he didn't continue down that path. He decided that's the end of it. This is no longer a thing, and I'm going to fix that. Right? So many of us have that realization, like, yo, I messed up. I messed up, and they live with that the rest of their life, and they constantly spend their entire life trying to fix that mistake, or whether it's their entire life, or whether it's just a portion of their life. I hurt someone that I shouldn't have, and now I'm constantly trying to fix that issue that I caused, that pain that I caused. Roy is someone who is hiding his pain behind his smile, behind his charisma, behind his personality, right? He's P always says when your mom's saying, check on your strong friends, right? Like Roy is that person, right? Roy is the person that Ed and Al, but they don't always do it, that Roy's like, come to me. Like, you have an issue. Why would you do that by yourself? Come tell me so I can help you do that, right? Though he himself is dealing with a bunch of pain and trauma that he's not giving to anyone, right? The only ones that really know, obviously, were Maze and Riza. But, like, he finally has this moment to where after, obviously, lost Maze, right? So now trauma is hitting. Instead of, again, I talk about he's a character who hides behind a facade, right? But when that moment comes that he's able to take revenge, he no longer is behind that facade. He breaks, right? We have that, people have that moment. And I don't want to say I've had that moment, but I've seen people have that moment to where they've hidden behind this facade. They've hidden, and something happens, it's the last straw, right? And they're just done. They're just completely done with whatever else that they've been trying to hide, that they've been dealing with. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And so that moment for Roy was when he finally met Envy. And he just went berserk. But for many of us, again, those people, hopefully you have people in your life who who try to ground you, who try to hold you back. And I say hold you back in a negative sense, but like who, again, I guess the best way to say it is try to ground you. Riza's that. I forgot old blonde dude, but basically his entire crew, his people that eventually got sent off, but his people are the ones that are there constantly to try to ground him and help him, even when he's normally that leader who takes care of everybody else. He has his people around him to ground him and help him out as well. And I think a lot of that is relatable. Does everyone go through that? No, but again, not everyone's going to go through everything that everyone has. All these characters have, but I think a lot of us do hide behind a facade, hide behind a mask when we're dealing with pain, and we literally mask that pain until one day we just no longer can.
One, we talk about, like you said, carrying guilt. Many adults, including myself, have regrets that we wished we could have like changed the past so that our future may look a little different. There are things that I wish I could do to go back and change like what I did in in hopes for a better future. Like Joe said, I think Roy like really struggles with the decisions that he made in his past. And I think in real life, like as adults, we also struggle from the decisions that we have made in our past, and we wish that we could change them for the better, but life sometimes doesn't work that way. I do want to push on one thing, and that's leadership and the pressure that it is in being a leader. Everybody looked to Roy for answers. In real life, I don't care whether you're a manager, whether you're a parent, whether you're a mentor, whether you're doing well in life and other family members are looking for you to help provide that support, you understand the burden of being in leadership, of having that pressure of being in leadership. Sometimes it is not a fun thing to make the decisions and to have like quote unquote the weight of the world on your shoulders. And I think Roy understands that very well. But also, again, if you are a parent, if you are a mentor, you get that. Again, it is real pressure to be a leader, whether that's again manager, household. It's rough at times. Joe also hit on like dude is really good at hiding his emotions. Um, and I get it. People depend on you. And when people depend on you, you have to, for a lack of better words, suck that ish up and continue to move on with what's going on. You don't have time to really show your emotions. You don't have time to like sit and cry like you want to. You got to suck that up and keep it moving because people depend on you. So sometimes, yes, in real life, you got to hide them emotions. You got to suck it up and you got to keep moving because people depend on you. So with that being said, like, yeah.
I was gonna say one more thing that I had thought about too is many of the times with these, obviously Roy's not the main character, but with this main cast of characters, right? Usually things they have a plan, and some point it goes wrong, but eventually it all works out in the end to the way they wanted, right? Like not always a happy ending, but a happy ending per se. Roy doesn't get that, which many of us don't, right? We shoot for the stars, try to do this. We have this grand scheme, this grand plan of wanting to accomplish something, and then something goes awry that literally stops that in our tracks. Like we no longer can achieve the goal that we set out for. For Roy, that was him going blind and not being able to do the things, and then obviously everything else that went down at the end of that series. But it that's real. Like life happens. Like I'll use myself for example. I wanted to play 10 years in the league. I wanted to get all pro and Pro Bowl and win a Super Bowl. None of that happened. Not because of anything I did, but because of just life situations, and it no longer is attainable. Not because of not working hard enough or not trying hard enough. It's not about effort or want to or desire or grit or ego or any of that stuff. It's just like literally life happened and opportunities no longer allow that to happen. Roy experiences that, which I think many of us deal with. So,
two more things.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Piggybacking off you. No, absolutely. I remember when I graduated college, got my music degree. I was like, yeah, buddy. Either I'm finna like be this crazy gigger who ends up playing for somebody really famous, or I'm gonna like take over a concert choir in high school, and like they're going to go to Carnegie Hall, and we're gonna do all of these great things. And no, I am in healthcare and have been here for 10 years. So sometimes like you have ambitions on doing some really like great stuff, but like Joe says, sometimes, and it's not that you didn't work hard at it. It's not that you aren't like really good at what you do. Life just happens. So that for sure, but that also jogs something else. Um, um, when you get into leadership, 9 times out of 10, you are really like trying, hopeful that you will make some type of meaningful change. That is 9 times out of 10 what you want to do when you get into leadership. You want to improve on what is already there. And you want to make, meaningful choices, and hopefully that will impact for the better. And again, I think Roy really does try to do that. I think he got in, well, not I think he got into it to like change the system that we know is kind of crazily corrupt. And I think even I'm saying kinda, yeah, but that is crazily corrupt. And I'm not saying like, again, politicians, yes, but also politicians be crazy too. But I'm saying like as just regular individuals, like we go into leadership hoping that we can make some type of meaningful change as well. And I think that is very relatable, because again, when I got into leadership, yes, the money was really good, but like when I got to the clinic, I was like, I really want this to be like the best peds clinic in the area. We got there, but I'm just saying. So, like, legit.
Back to my point of you better.
Yeah, no, no. It goes back. It legit goes back to my your anime impact of like, trust God, trust him. Like, stop jumping too quick and don't do your own thing. But that's neither here nor there. So yeah, the more we talk about Roy, the more like I find out that he's more relatable than what I thought. And I had, like I said, jot down a couple of things, but I'd put him top 10.
Hey, okay.
I'll put him top 10.
Top 5?
I'm not putting him top 5. We don't have to wait and see.
Top 5.
Because you're going to kill. You're going to hate me for one that I think is top 5.
What, the next person?
No. Even though I think we'll see.
I don't know about top 5 for that.
I know he's not top 5. No, Sanji's not top 5. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, Sanji's not top 5. But go ahead, Terrell. Sanji, what you gonna say about your cook? Your relatable straw hat besides Usopp.
Okay, so a couple things. If you know what love languages are, right? Sanji expresses one of those through cooking, is how he expresses care. In real life, acts of service is a common love language. Number one. And that is how he expresses himself. Me and my wife, but he doesn't really physically touch like that. He just has nosebleeds.
Sorry.
But I will say, when me and my wife, we took a love language test. And I think mine, well, actually that was kind of low on my list, but like hers, number 1, acts of service. Take out that trash, wash them dishes when you can. Show me that you love me. I know you love me, but let me see it by taking out that trash. So I totally get it. This is not necessary. Okay, so stick with me here, because this is gonna, because I didn't feel like this, but yet I kind of felt like this. The fact of him being a child and him feeling unwanted. As a child, we saw like Sanji's backstory. We saw that as a kid, he was the black sheep. As a kid, he loved to cook. As a kid, like he just was not like his siblings at all. Was not that guy. Didn't really enjoy fighting like that. Like didn't enjoy sparring. He enjoyed cooking. For me, again, I talk about this a lot. When I was a kid, all of my cousins were insanely talented, and my sister was insanely talented when it came to sports. My sister ran track, ran 400, stupid good. My cousin Kiki played basketball really good. Javon plays everything: tennis, track, basketball, football. If we had a lacrosse team, he would play that too. Your boy, not so much so. Like, can I play enough to get by? Sure. Was I like good enough, or did I feel like I was good enough to be on anybody's team? Absolutely not. Your boy loved music, and I feel like that is very relatable. A lot of the times we look and Miami Impact, like legit, we look at everybody else's gifts and like, dang man, like I wish I could do that. Or why, not even I wish I could do that, but why am I different? Why am I not built like that? Why can't I do this? Why do I like music and I don't really like care for what everybody else is doing? Why do I like cooking and I really don't care for what my siblings are doing? I think that for me, and probably some other people, I think that that's very, very relatable. And again, I think that also bleeds into Sanji not knowing like his self-worth, knowing like that, yo, bro, you actually are like a talented cook. You are a talented fighter. And I think that, and we can get into other avenues, but I think that that bleeds into why Sanji's character is the way that it is. If we like really start to, because some of the things that he does, I think is a lack of not being loved, and this is how he chooses to express love, which is a whole nother route that we can get down. But I think Sanji is relatable. I really do, especially to me. Like, I'm not saying I'm over here like, ooh, let me touch women now. No, not at all. But I think Sanji is a relatable character for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't dismiss his ability. I think his, obviously, his upbringing, him, being emotionally and physically not taken care of as a child definitely shaped how he sees himself and his self worth. Um, and then obviously that leads to many of us, whether dad or mom's on the picture, someone didn't love us the way uh, a child should be loved, and we find a second family or a second parent. Whether some kid finds has a friend and their family becomes their family, or you get a stepdad, or whatever the picture may be, right? Like a lot of us have found a replacement, for lack of a better way of putting it, someone that truly loves us and shows us what love is like when we didn't have that in the beginning.
Yeah.
And obviously that was Zeph, right, for Sanji. I think the biggest thing for Sanji, and again, I'll always say this, I understand why Sanji did what he did. I will never understand or accept how he went about it. However, Sanji's biggest thing is he carried his shame and trauma silently. He kept it to himself. He didn't tell anyone about his past. Though Sanji is technically part, again, he didn't identify with that family, but technically Sanji's part of a high status family, not necessarily royalty, but a high status family nonetheless. And no one knew that about Sanji. He's been spending however much time with these people, join the crew, life and death situations with people, and no one knew anything about Sanji's past because he kept it to himself and lived with it silently. Many people do that, right? We have traumas, we have shame that we committed, things that we did or went through that we don't want to tell those that are close to us because we don't want them to see the ugly side of who we are, or we think they won't accept us or love us because of that. And for Sanji, again, growing up without being loved, and then Zeph loved him, but a very tough love rather than sentimental, hug me type love, right? He didn't want to lose what he had with the Straw Hats. And so, yeah, he did leave on his own. He did push them away. He did say, don't come after me. And eventually kicked Luffy in the face with his hottest and strongest kick at the time, which was stupid. But nonetheless, all coming back to his upbringing, his shame, his trauma, and trying to hide all of that from those who are close to him so that he did not lose them. That, I think, is the biggest relatable part to Sanji. We don't give everyone 100% of ourselves. Yeah, I think we don't give everyone 100% of who we are. I think a lot of everyone, social media, right? Social media is the highlights, the beautiful stuff, the good looking stuff. No one shows the dark, gritty, dirty, nasty things that happen in our lives or have happened to us, or the shame that we have, the things that we do that we know we shouldn't, or been through that we wish we didn't. I think that's, for me, the biggest relatable part to Sanji. I think a lot of people relate to that, so I think it's a highly relatable aspect to Sanji.
Sure, yeah.
Sure, yeah. Dang, just dismissed everything I said like that.
No. I agree. I agree. I don't
messing.
think that, for me, it's not the most relatable. But it is one of the most relatable. Like I said, I still have childhood trauma and stuff that I still have to unpack. So for me, like, the not feeling inadequate or not feeling adequate is more of a relatable thing. But a couple of things.
I think they all tie together. I think obviously the shame part comes from the upbringing, the childhood trauma, and the feeling inadequate. I think it's just the shame is an offshoot or a product of the childhood trauma, like you're saying. So
yeah, no, I remember we had this kid, he was a really good friend of mine, elementary into middle school. And like, we would always ask, or I would always ask, hey, yo, like, can I spend the night? Like, what's going on? Like, we can't spend the night. And he would never like want anybody to spend the night with him. Until we found out like later what his living arrangements and what his home was like, which is why like he didn't necessarily want to talk about it or bring other people in. So I thought that was a really good point. For sure. But also, like, how could I also forget, like, and you hit it on the head, like, which this is why I relate to Sanji so much more now, is like, my stepdad is Zeph, like my real dad. And I found like a replacement that was like, honestly, 10 times better than the real guy. And so that, again, that even helps more solidify that he is more relatable to me.
Where you got him, Terrell?
I mean, we can only have 5 and 5. We still got so much more.
Yeah. I'll give him top 10 for now, at least.
I'll give him top 10 as well. Yeah, somebody's gonna probably have to move out of that top 10 soon. Yeah, but I'll give him top 10 now. Next, we have Roronoa Zoro. Good luck, Joe.
Stop it, bro. The right hand, the stronger hand, the dominant hand of the future Pirate King.
What if you're ambidextrous? Like, what does that mean then?
He's not. Luffy's not ambidextrous.
I'm just saying.
If we
actually, he is low-key, but
no. He's still good with the left. He's still got a mean left hook. But if we look, most of the time when he do a gum pistol, is it left-handed or right-handed? Okay, right-handed. That's what I thought.
Okay, so we need to go back and check that then, because I don't know. I feel like you can also just say things just to say them without us fact checking, but
I pictured in my head.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So yeah, I think don't the whole good luck thing, crazy. But no, I'm trying to stop. Terrell. See, okay, okay. Say less. There are some of us, and I like to. I think of. I mean, I think a lot of people have it, but the people I know, obviously, I played football my entire life, and so I know a lot of people who have family members that they promise things to. Right? They grew up in a way that they didn't have much or whatnot, but they made a promise like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Whether it's I'm going to get out of here, whether I'm going to come back and take care of you, whether, we, two best friends that had a dream and a goal and one person got an opportunity, the other one didn't. So, hey, what I'm accomplishing, what I'm doing is not just mine, right? My why, my reason, right? I think for a lot of people, we have a reason and a why for the dreams that we chase after, not just because that would be dope to be the highest paid football player in the world, which it would be, right? But like, it's not just because of that. My dreams and goals, my accomplishment that I'm seeking after is because I have someone back home or someone that I love or a family member or a close friend or whatever it is, someone close to me that I am doing this for. That is Zoro. That's where Zoro's dream and goal and aspirations of becoming the greatest swordsman of all time comes from, with him and Kuina. I think it's Kuina. Comes from their childhood, and obviously her being that whole story, her being a girl and she can't be, and then obviously the stairs, which is still crazy to me, bro. Still crazy to me. But I one thing that I love about Zoro, and may not necessarily be the most relatable thing, but his connection to Luffy, and shout out to Jehovah's Witness, but now is what my dog changed his name to, Terrell?
Waleed.
No, that's his actual name.
Oh, is it Wa?
No, okay, is Watasha Waleed.
Okay.
Is what he is rebranding his name to. But one of his videos that he was talking about Zoro, which I absolutely love, and it comes back to his loyalty and respect for his captain. Like knows no bounds. It's like it sets the tone for everything that this man does. And a lot of us find that person that we admire to such a high degree, a high standard, that like we emulate them in a way. Not that Zoro is emulating Luffy like that, but throughout this entire story, very rarely have we seen Luffy express pain. Right, like when times are tough and he gets beat up and he's taking all this damage and he's dealing with all this stuff, like he's always walking around with that big ass smile on his face. Right, Zoro doesn't smile no more, but he used to. However, we see the epitome of Zoro respecting Luffy so much that when he took all that pain and he experienced what Luffy has been dealing with this entire time, he knew that he couldn't complain. He couldn't speak up. He couldn't say anything because that would do a disservice to the person that he admired so much so that he obviously has dropped what he was doing and now is following after this person and is helping drop basically his dream, and not fully dropped his dream, but like he has put someone else's dream ahead of theirs. I found this person that I love so much and care for so much and admire so much that I'm going to put what I want to do on the back burner and push forward what they're doing. Now, mind you, still trying to accomplish what I want to, but push forward what they're doing. Not everyone's the main character. A lot of us in life we are the main characters of our own lives. However, we may not be the captain. We're not all the captain, right? Usopp is not the captain. Okay, even though he want to be, Usopp is not the captain, but we all have our role, and Zoro has understood his role.
I always have to throw in the Usopp.
I do. I'm sorry. My bad. I shouldn't have done that.
You're not sorry, but go ahead, continue.
I'm not. You're right. Zoro understands his role, and he's found this person, like many of us do, that we admire and aspire to be like, and want to help achieve whatever greatness is that they're striving for. Right? Not everyone's the CEO. Not everyone's the boss. And that's Zoro. He's the right hand, and he fully fits into his role. And then the last thing I really just have is he turned his grief into motivation, right? Which comes back to, again, the why, right? It's not just he didn't sulk in it, he didn't sit in it. He used it as fuel, used motivation to achieve the goal again that he is setting out for. So I know I rambled a lot about the whole Luffy Zoro thing, but yeah.
Well, I knew that was going to happen because it's Zoro. So I totally understand. I do.
Okay. What do you guys say about Zoro? Nothing. So we're done. Not relatable. That's what you guys say. He's bottom five.
Bottom five.
Okay.
So top a couple things. Top five my ass. Couple things. Let's talk about commitment. Zoro is committed to the goal of being the strongest swordsman in all of One Piece. If I had to relate that, it's about long-term goals for him. Like, yeah, short-term is good, but I think in real life it matters. And it's relatable. If you have a long-term goal, stick with me. We have this podcast that we have been doing for 4 going on 5 years. And so I think both me and Joe, and anybody else, whether you're a content creator or whether like you're a teacher who wants to become a assistant principal, who wants to become a principal, who wants to become superintendent, like if you understand long-term goals, you understand why this is so relatable, because sometimes it is the long game. Sometimes like you have to put in the work, like years and years and years. And I think Zoro understands that. And again, if you're a content creator or anything of that nature, you understand that, hey, like it's gonna take work, it's gonna take time. I gotta put in the time, but like the long term goal is worth it. And again, I know we'll get to see Zoro achieve his goal, just like the people who put in the work for their long term goal. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to see their dreams happen. Number one. Number two, discipline. A couple things for me when it comes to discipline. One thing, as a piano player, as somebody who and I don't think this is just equated to music. I think this is like in anything that you want to be great in, you have to be like disciplined in. And I talked about this before, but I would like go to class at 8 o'clock in the morning. But before my 8 o'clock class, like I would be in the practice room like at 6 or 7, trying to get the reps in to like get up my speed and learn these songs. And anytime like I had time in between classes, like I would make sure that I could do whatever I could to become better at playing the piano. And that takes a lot of discipline. I know Joe can talk about, being disciplined and being in the NFL. Like it's just not some fly by night type of thing to where like you're athletically talented and now you can play. I would never on God's green earth want to do what this guy does, because first of all, I like to eat. There's no way on God's green earth I would sacrifice.
I eat.
There is no way. I eat what I want to eat though, anytime I want to eat. And then I don't have to go to the gym if I don't want to try to work that off. I refuse. Like if I want to, great. But I like that type of discipline. It's on a whole nother level. Athletes have another type of discipline. Musicians have another type of discipline. So I get it. For me too, and maybe this is Anime Impact. Zoro does like in a lot of like off screen training, if you would. Like, yes, we see him like train on screen, but we also see him train off screen. A lot of times growth happens when nobody is watching. It happens behind the scenes. And so when we see Zoro like pop up and it's like, how he does more than what Sabo does, Rob. So don't do that.
We see
Rob, but so when we come back and we see like, yo, when this dude, it's because he's been growing and training while nobody else has been watching. And I think too, that is very much relatable. A lot of the times we won't let people know what we're doing, but when we pop up and when we pop out and it's like, hey, yo, how you get here? Yo, just know I've been working in the back, man. I've been putting in the reps. I've been trying to do what I can to make it happen. And now you're just seeing like the works of what happened. Loyalty. For me, I think Zoro is probably one of, if not the most loyal people in all of One Piece, but you could probably argue in anime in general. Real life. If you are my friend and I rock with you like that, I am extremely loyal to you. There is nothing that you can probably do or say that is going to stop making me be your friend. I will ride with you into the ends of the earth, probably including when you're wrong. We'll talk about you being wrong behind closed doors, but in public, don't say nothing about him. We'll talk about it later between me and Joe, but you don't say nothing to him. And so that for me, like, and Joe's a prime example. Like I wouldn't let anybody talk smack about Joe. Like we'll fight for that happens. Or I can't fight. Well, I can't fight, but I can't now. I'm old.
Cut that word out.
So
bleep that
what
word.
Fight?
No, the other word.
Oh, N-word?
Pew pew.
Oh, pew pew. Yeah. Oh, pew pew, excuse me. So yeah, I think just having that amount of loyalty to somebody, because for me it's not even like an admiration type of thing. It's just like if I rock with you and you have been like a friend to me, and I know you're a good, genuine person, then I'm going to ride for you. 100%. Way more relatable than what I would have thought, coming out the gate. I think he's more relatable than Killua for sure. I don't know if it belongs in top 10.
You mean help you out here?
What do you think?
I was gonna put Zoro bottom 10. I really was. I think I mean, yeah, I think we all, I think the grief to motivation and the loyalty is for sure things that we
But not everybody has that. And I
not
think
everybody,
that's,
yeah, not
yeah,
everybody has, and yeah, which I think is dope and amazing, and people do go through that. People have experienced that. Again, I think a lot of people have a why. So it may necessarily be grief, but someone important to us that we use as our reasoning for why we want to chase something, and not just our own ambition and aspiration.
I think that's way more relatable than like what we talked about with Killer though.
But I think that's just one. I mean, we could put
Like
it in the top
if we
15,
talk about
I,
like goal setting and goal leveling, if we talk about like how disciplined he is, if we talk about like
yeah, but not
the
everyone.
loyalty aspect.
If we want to go be real honest, no one's Zoro. And again, everything's to an extreme with every character, but the level of loyalty and discipline that Zoro has, I think is what. I'll bring it back to Luffy. Very aspirational.
And that's what the thing, and I think that's where we probably side a lot, is that like you have to bring that down to real life. Like you cannot leave that up there to anime, because then it becomes impossible to reach.
Right, but I think I'm bringing everybody down. I think everyone's to a certain extreme. Again, I think that's. I mean, this is my favorite character, and this person I use as motivation. I think. Again, I think.
I think
aspirational less.
See, no, I definitely see him more relational than aspirational. What I will say, to your point, is that I think he's more relational to a certain group of individuals. So like if you are a content creator, if you are a musician, if you are an athlete, you know like the discipline that it takes, you know how to commit to a goal, you know that you have to like be like disciplined, and that things don't necessarily always work out, but you gotta like maintain your focus. I think everybody can relate to being loyal. I think everybody has a friend that they would like have a ride or die for, but I think the other aspects are relatable to groups of individuals. So I'll give you that to some extent. So you going bottom 10?
Yeah, I swear I had him.
I would say top 15, but you let me have Sasuke, so I'll step down.
All right, Terrell, brother. Let me go ahead and go while you talk about this person who does nothing but to lock in. Zenitsu.
Sure. So honestly, and this is one of the ones that I was going to say is for me probably top 5, top 10. Yeah. I'm sorry, we don't have the same, and I know people who like have issues with these types of things. So again, I'm just talking about like what's relatable to me. Number 1, anxiety. I think everybody has some relatability to anxiety. Zenitsu like legit constantly imagines the worst case scenario. Anxiety, catastrophizing like to its grandest of things. Joe, we just talked about legit how your wife would message you and you would go from 0 to 100 of what is the worst possible thing that could ever happen.
Yep.
I think that not only you do that, but I think a lot of people catastrophize things without thinking that they actually do. I know my wife does it from time to time. I know I do it from time to time. My wife will get in here and we're like, I just had the worst day imaginable. Did you though? Did you really have the worst day imaginable? Because I can think of some things that probably could be as equally as or worse. And same for me. I could go in and be like, man, this day sucks. My wife like, why is it sucking? You're living, you're breathing, you got a job, you got some money, you got a car, you got family, you got a roof. Like you got all of these things. Like but I think as humans, one, we have a big issue with anxiety, but 2, we have a big issue with making our anxiety bigger than what it is. 2, let's talk about lack of confidence. Again, I can only speak for me. We just talked about my anime impact. Zenitsu really doesn't realize that he could be him if he, 1, would get out of his own way, 2, stop comparing and stop worrying about like everybody else and what's going on around him and like legit just lock in. Unfortunately, it sucks that he has to put on this facade of him being sleep to like legit lock in. But again, I think a lot of people have issues with with a lack of confidence. A lot of times people underestimate their skills or underestimate what they can do. Again, I'm talking about me going live for the first time. Did not think I could do it. Did not think I would be able to yap for 4 hours plus. There are other things. Didn't think I would, be able to do Carnegie Hall. Didn't think that I would be able to do like a lot of the things that I was able to do because I kept shortchanging myself and I kept underestimating myself. I think a lot of people underestimate themselves, and I think it just doesn't even relate to like professional athletes or content creators or musicians, or I think a lot of people underestimate themselves so much so that they won't even try to shoot for their dreams, and now they're working a job that they don't want to work because they never gave themselves a shot. I know so many adults that did not give themselves a chance, and now they are working or doing things that they would rather not be doing because they underestimated themselves. Number 3, wanting validation. I think Zenitsu really wants validation a lot. He wants validation a lot. And for me, again, most people just want to feel valued. We even see like him like in the training arc and all of these things about like, it wasn't until he got into the Infinity Castle and after he's trained that he feels like he's, he doesn't need the approval of what's going on. Like we get his backstory and like all of that stuff and what happens. But I think a lot of people want to feel valued. They want to feel important. They want to feel like they're useful. And I think we as humans, that's a hard hump to cross, because what if you feel like you aren't valued? I know I struggle with that a lot, and I think that other people struggle with that as well. And the last one, despite being scared, despite all of that stuff, like he still has the courage to still do what he has to do. And again, I think that's why like I like these type of characters, because again, like yes, you can be scared. Yes, you can be like antsy in the pants, but like dog, like the fact that you still can be like, okay, like I get it. I'm nervous. I'm scared, but I got a job I got to do. I got to make it happen. Some way, somehow, I got to make this happen. I think it's very relatable. I think again, a lot of people will do things out of fear, or will push on despite the fear. So for me, and again, I relate to Zenitsu so much because like again, not like the loud, well, I'm loud, but like not the like go crazy, like Nezuko-chan, like not to that extent for sure, but like the things that he struggles with, yeah. Not only me, but I think a lot of people struggle with those things. I think they rather not say that they struggle with it, because who likes to say that they struggle with depression and anxiety and lack of confidence and wanting approval? I don't think anybody like legit wants to say that out loud, but I think a lot of people struggle with that. And I think it's more than what we think. I know I talked for a lot, so I'll shut up. But yeah, I think he's highly relatable.
Yeah, I mean, you hit everything on the head. The low self-esteem, the lack of confidence, obviously, yeah, he has some courage despite fear. I think my biggest thing for anti-Zenitsu, which is my biggest thing for Zenitsu, period, and I don't say anti-Zenitsu, is I think everyone has some sort of anxiety or fear towards things, and some people obviously more than others. I think how he expresses that is the part that like takes away from it. It like there are probably other characters on this list that deal with the same thing, that don't scream and cry constantly.
14 though.
Okay,
Or
there
12,
are other
13.
whatever. There are other characters. There's some main characters that deal with stuff that don't express it the same way that he does. Aren't screaming and yelling, and then also the Nezuko-chan nonsense. And again, that's
anime.
Right. So are all these other characters.
Yep. I'll let you. I'm sorry. You go ahead.
But mean, that's like I said, I had nothing really positive to say because you pretty much said it all. So
That's a top 10. Like I know, but I
I
think that's top 10. And again, even to your point, like, yes, not everybody will go through like the screaming and all of that, but people cope with anxiety and depression in different ways.
yeah,
That
for
might
sure.
just be his way of coping, but other people cope in different ways, whether it's drinking, whether it is going outside to scream, because I have done that as well. Like I have
I
had to
mean, yeah,
just be
I'll
like,
go out and
ah.
yell. Yeah, I'll go out. Listen,
So
I've had my share of letting out a good yell and letting it
so I
out.
so again,
But
I think that, yeah, like he does it his way, but I think a lot of people do it their way as well. Or, cope with anxiety their way.
I mean, I know you said top five. I don't know if I could do top
I
five.
said top 10. I said top 10.
Originally you said top five.
I mean, if I had my choice, I would put
Yeah, I
him in
can't.
top five.
Yeah, I can't do
But
that.
I'm fine with top 10. But I think we
That's fine.
probably will have to go back and revisit, because I really do think he's a top five.
Okay.
And I'm looking at everybody else. I don't know if everybody else relates as much. Next, which I also think he's very relatable too, but these are for my own personal reasons for sure.
I think I think
The
that's the hard
next
part. Is
one,
yeah,
yeah.
is we have to look at the grander scheme of not everyone goes through everything or deals with everything the same way, which again, just life. Everyone's different. All these characters are different themselves and deal with the different traumas and whatnot.
But I think that's the different thing about Zenitsu is I think that everybody has like some sense of like struggling with anxiety,
Doubt.
self doubt, lack of confidence, and still being able to move on in spite being scared. Like I think everybody can somewhat relate to that.
Yeah.
Like not everybody can relate to family issues. I don't think so. Whether you can,
Yeah,
or can't. But
no, not everybody. Some people have great upbringings, which
yeah.
brings us to this character. Go ahead.
So next character we have is Shoto Todoroki.
Yeah.
Take it away, Joe.
I think the biggest thing for Shoto is obviously the family trauma, which I mean, a lot of the characters we've talked about so far have had some sort of family or childhood trauma, and that is Shoto's not biggest thing, but obviously is the backbone of his story and his upbringing is his father being who he is and the prick that he is until a certain point, and him, having his character arc, his mom being so afraid of his father that she took it out of him on accident. Obviously she wasn't abusive herself, but that whole, how he got his scar and stuff like that. The one thing that the biggest thing for me, and this is on a personal note, not everyone goes through this, which I think a lot of this is, a lot of my that I see in him is not much outside this one thing for me, is how he denied a part of himself for so long because of who it reminded him of. He hated his fire because it reminded him of his father, right? And I have, just being completely upfront and honest, there are a lot of things, and I don't hate my father, my father. I do not hate him. I want to be very clear, very, 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 very clear. I do not hate my father. He did a lot of good things for me, great things for me. I know he loves me. There are aspects that, there are things that upbringing and whatnot that I deal with, and it is what it is. But there are parts of it that I do that I don't like about our relationship that I will then do or say or behave in a certain way, and it drives me up a wall. So in that aspect, I see myself in Todoroki, like his fire abilities obviously were like I ain't touching that. And there are things that I want to do better at than my dad, which many of us do. All of us do, right? Our parents usually want us to be better than what they are, and I want my kids to be better than me. But then things that I want to be better than, that I, fall right back into. So, that's my biggest thing for Todoroki. Him trying to reclaim his identity, knowing that he is not his father. He is his own person. He is himself, and not allowing who his father is determine who he is. That's my biggest thing with Totoro.
Yeah, no. I have two more things to add to that. You hit on family trauma. Like, yes, people have family trauma. You hit on like the issues with like him struggling with his identity. Yeah. Which is this is why anime just because I started to get in my feelings just a little bit, not gonna lie to you. Um being able to open it up, like having like some type of emotional, like, what's the word?
Distancing
Thank
yourself.
you, thank you. Emotional distance. Like, you saw it.
I was like,
You saw it going on.
I'm like, maybe it's something else, and I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, emotional distance, but he has really, like, he has a lot of issues like opening up. And a lot of the times you build those emotional walls and you put them up after being hurt by somebody. And so for me, I have built up a lot of emotional walls because, like, I have, and people will hurt you without knowing that they hurt you. So I will say sometimes it's okay to speak up to let you know, hey, this kind of made me feel some type of way. Let's talk about it. But I know for me, like, walls, like, especially when somebody has hurt me, like, walls are built and they are very hard to tear down. I'll be candid again. I have been in therapy with the same therapist now going on 2.5 years. Um, and there are two big things that I will not touch. And I've been in there for 2.5 years. And every so often, like, he calls them like buckets, like, you have these bucket of things that we gotta tackle. And so I've been tackling like the really small things that, like, I feel like I can handle. And so now we're about to come up on like some heavy stuff that, like, I have to, like, if I want to get past it, I got to start opening up and I got to start talking about it. But my walls are so high that I don't want to talk about it. Like, he mentioned it one time and I legit, like, froze up, broke down, did not start talking. He was like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No." Like, I don't want to, like, I even started to get like agitated. Like, stop asking me. So I think just him being able to open up, especially after you've been hurt, and having those emotional walls up, I think are very relatable. Like, I think everybody to some extent has like some type of guard that they put up from being hurt by somebody, whether the person meant to hurt you or not. The guard is up. Lastly, forgiveness. Let me tell you, seeing especially what has happened within the past like week and a half, 2 weeks, and learning like what forgiveness will actually look like, because I'm learning that forgiveness does not look the same, or it doesn't look like what I thought it was going to look like. And for the longest, I thought that I had forgiven. Like, I thought I was good. Like, I love you. And yes, guys, talking about my biological. Like, I love you, but just like, I don't need to have nothing to do with you. I don't need to talk to you. I don't need to see you. I'll see you at your funeral when you're in front of the church. That is when I'll see you. But learning that forgiveness, one, makes you feel so much better as a person, but number two, it is way more complicated than what I could have ever imagined it would be. Because again, I went to go see like my dad last week, probably the first time I've seen him in over 10 years. Me and my wife have literally been knowing each other 10 years, and I know I haven't seen him since I met my wife. And he said something to me that, like, I, like, legit, after he said it, left the room, bawled my eyes out. But he was like, he was like, it really, and something so small. He was like, it really would be good if you came back and saw me. Like, I really enjoyed the time. And I was like, I held it down. Okay, good to see you too. Bye bye. And so I got out and I just like bawled my eyes out, like all the way down the elevator. All of that stuff, like, got to my car, called my wife, was like, yeah, it's kind of rough. But I say all that to say is, like, in that moment, I felt like, one, like nothing else mattered. Like, those words, like, one, really meant a lot to me. But two, it also solidified and validated that, like, the forgiveness that I thought I was going to get is not what I had in mind. And so just that journey of Todoroki, like going down that road of forgiveness. And again, I don't think that Todoroki thought that that's what it would look like for him either. But again, we all have different, paths that we, have to take as far as like forgiveness. And again, I'm not saying that like my story is anybody else's or Todoroki's is anybody else, but I think that there are people that have hurt people that you have to somehow like learn to forgive. I'm not saying that you have to forget. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to like be best friends, but like again, I think everybody has somebody that they have to like forgive and kind of move on from there. So those two things, for me, I wanted to add along onto what Joe said as well. Again, he is relatable to me, but I also know not everybody has that story. So I think that's what makes it hard.
No, I mean, I think the biggest thing that you brought that everyone can relate to some degree, obviously a lot more than others, is that like having to forgive someone. We've all been hurt by somebody. We've all been done wrong by someone, and again, not having to not forgetting, not necessarily always bringing that person as close as they used to be or allowing them some access as they used to have, but forgiving and not holding on to it and not letting it hold you back, I think is pretty dang relatable and pretty up there in my opinion. So
I agree with that. Top 15?
Yeah, we could go there for now.
Todoroki. I honestly thought you was going to be in bottom 10. Because like I said, I relate to you for sure.
All right, next character, P, is Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. One of the best character arcs. I can't even call it arcs. character development and
arc.
But it's like
he had an arc.
I mean, he had
long arc.
He had an arc, but it's like
saga
from beginning of Dragon Ball Z even to freaking Super and seeing him in Ultimate Dad mode. Yeah, wifey saying, "You don't sit your butt down or I won't shop with you again." It's crazy, bro. This dude went from pride to... Sorry, my bad. Go ahead, P.
You want to go? You want to go first? I'll hop in. You nope. So Joe's gonna go.
I'm not going.
We have
my mic is muted. I already did that.
You didn't even introduce him.
I did introduce him.
Did you?
Yes.
I think you like started to and went in.
Nope. Go ahead, Terrell.
All right, so a couple of things about Vegeta. Again, a little bit more research. I found out he was way more relatable than what I had thought for me. Because everybody looks at Vegeta and we say pride, and yes, pride can be relatable. I don't think pride is relatable to a lot of people. Nope. I won't say that. Pride is definitely relatable to some aspect to people. I think people do have pride. I don't think it goes to the extent of Vegeta, but I think everybody can't. But I still think everybody can struggle with pride. I know I'm bringing it back down to real life level. I get it. I preached it all this daggone episode. I'm bringing it back down. So I think everybody can relate to some aspect of pride, but that's not what I want to harp on. Number one, comparison. My wife, what is the saying that comparison is the thief of joy? I think that's that's the saying. Vegeta constantly like measured himself against Goku. And again, if we're being honest, we measure people a lot, whether we see them on social media and see them doing well and, wish that, dang, why can't I be doing that well? Why can't I, do all these types of things? And why can't I, all of those things? Or we look at somebody's, we be in people's pockets. And we look at celebrities and be like, bro, why can't I like have like this money and why can't I have the cars? And we are constantly comparing ourselves to somebody else or the next best thing. I think that is one of the most relatable things that Vegeta has. But for me, well, and that's big for me because I constantly compare myself because sometimes I'm like, bro, like my life can't be like, why is my life going like this? Like such and such over here, like he doing great. Like, why, Jesus, I serve you. I pay my tithes and my offerings. I be in my word. I pray. I fast when I need to. Why you doing this to me? Again, jokey joke, but also like some seriousness. There's a little bit of truth in every joke. Like, why am I going through this? But I look at like such and such, and they don't be praying. They over here just having a good old time. But meanwhile, I'm over here. So like, what's going on? What's good? What's good with you? Like, what's so? I think we all have like that kind of aspect. One of the bigger ones for me is the fear of not necessarily being like surpassed, but the feeling of being like left out. Vegeta struggled with that a lot. Like he never won, and I'm kind of antiquating the words of surpassed and being left behind. But Vegeta like did not legit whether and you can say even in power, like Vegeta never wanted to be left behind. Like he always wanted to at least be close to Goku or surpass Goku. Well, I'm not even saying being close to Goku. He wanted to surpass Goku. Um, and I think that fear of being left behind like really like to some extent did him in, especially in the earlier episodes. For me, I can only speak for me. I don't know how relatable this is to somebody else, but the fear of being left out or being left behind scares the heebie jeebies out of me. I always want to feel like I am competent. I always want to feel like that I am like doing my part. I always want to feel like that I'm carrying my weight. And so like that fear of again just being left behind or even fear of being surpassed, like bro, like I wanna also do good. Like what can I do to get better? And even like with Vegeta, and I think that's sometimes the hard part is that sometimes you will get left out and sometimes you will get surpassed. And what can you do to deal with that? Because again, Vegeta worked his tail off and still got left by Goku time and time again. So what can you do to deal with that like type of issue? And I think for me, I don't know if that's like relatable for a lot of people, but for me, that is very relatable. That's probably one of my most relatables to Vegeta. Um, and then lastly, he finds out like what life truly means. Like it's not about him. Like yes, he conquered planets, and yes, he excuse me, murked a lot of folk. But at the end of the day, like he found out like what really was important, and that was his family and his friends. I'm not saying that you went out here and murked the world and whatnot, but what I am saying is that sooner or later you come to realize that like life is really more than what you're out here doing, and you come to find out that like what is literally the true meaning of life for you. Like what's really important, what really matters. Is it again, we talk about the comparison. Is it about like the money? Is it about, the followers? Is it about like all of these things? Or is it like legit? I got my life, health, and strength. I got somewhere to sleep. I got some clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, food on my table. I don't go hungry. Like I got a little bit of spending change. I got a job. Like you truly learn like what actually matters in life and what's important in life. And I think Vegeta and towards the end like learned that, hey yo, like all of this was good, but like I got a family and I got a wife and I got kids, and that's what truly matters.
You mentioned the pride thing in the beginning. I think that especially nowadays, everyone has pride in some aspect of their life.
I agree with that.
I think a lot of people, and some to a degree more than others, whether it's racial pride, right? Like I think, I think in a positive way, I think Black folks, are very proud of being Black, right? Like we really are. Again, everyone is to certain degrees, shout out to Frankie, Fantastic Frankie, like very proud of her Afro-Latina heritage, right? Um, you know,
Ooh, I like the route you're going.
yeah,
He was
like
very proud to be a Say. Yeah.
that like, and especially for Vegeta's family, like everyone got done in, right? So his pride was him holding on to who he was. His pride was, in a sense, a defense mechanism
Yeah,
for
that's really good.
all the loss that he went through. Though I may have been looked down upon because of this one aspect of myself, I'm going to use that as one of the most important things about myself that I truly admire and love about who I am, and I'm going to take pride in that. Now, Vegeta took it to a whole another level because he started putting people down with it, but I think that's also relatable because I think there's a lot of people who do that in different aspects, one way or another, right? Again, you brought up the whole point, like Vegeta living in Goku's shadow. A lot of us, like you said, deal with that, whether because of social media or because someone next to us all of a sudden popped up out of nowhere and started doing something better than us, and we used to be him, or just we've been, or just whatever reason, we're in someone else's shadow. Not the most vulnerable person in the world. Until that Majin Vegeta saga, he had never hugged his son. It literally says it word for word. Trunks, I've never hugged you, have I? And finally gives his son a hug. Many of us, it takes a loved one to change us. I know folks who's out here doing a bunch of dumb stuff, and then all of a sudden now, hey, I got a family. Damn, I got to lock in. Like, it's time to change. I can't be out here, in the streets doing stupid stuff no more. Like, I really got to take care of family. Someone's relying on me besides myself. It's not just me no more, And yeah, obviously to a point to where Vegeta eventually learned some humility, right? He that whole speech during the tournament, during Dragon Ball Super, and him like pumping up Goku, like, yo, like, we've trusted you. I used to be like, nah, I'm better than you. I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, right? Like, pride was my thing. I'm better than everybody else out here. But now it's the point where I've given you this. We've trusted in you. I'm humbling myself because I've acknowledged you and who you are. Though obviously he done that a while ago, but that speech really is in my opinion, the epitome of Vegeta humbling himself and realizing, like, it's not just about me. It's not, I don't have to always be number one. Sometimes someone else has got to pick up the torch and lead the pack and do this, even though I want to. So I think there's a lot about Vegeta that's relatable. Personal opinion, I think Vegeta again has one of the best character development arcs of all time in all of anime. And I don't know how much you agree with me, P. Someone's got to go in top 5. I feel Vegeta deserves that spot. But,
oh no, God no.
But that's my opinion.
God no, because if that's the case, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I think Zenitsu is more relatable. And I hear you. Yeah, I hear you,
but we gonna disagree. So we could put him wherever at this point, but that's it. That's where I'd have him. It's top 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't put my boy in top 5. We can do some reconfiguring, but
you're gonna have to eventually.
We will.
You can put him in top 10 if that's
top 5.
Yep.
Most relatable to everybody.
Zenitsu top 5?
Yeah.
Most relatable to everybody?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would 100% agree that he is more relatable than Vegeta for sure.
Well, you got the top. Put him.
All right. So if that's the case, then we move Zenitsu 5 too.
Sure.
You don't agree with that?
Not one bit, but neither do you. So, like, what do you want me to do?
Next, finally, we have somebody that's going also there with Zoro. We have Rock Lee next. Take it away, Joe.
Sorry, say the last part. What'd you just say?
Somebody who's going to be in the bottom 10 with Zoro. Rock Lee. Take it away, Joe. I think this is more aspirational than relatable, but
what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hard work versus gifted.
One aspect, but go ahead.
Not
because that's the biggest aspect that he has.
Right. Put down because of his lack of ability. Finding someone in his Kamina, right? Believe in me that believes in you. Having that someone who believed in him even when he doubts himself because he's not on that level of everybody else, because he's one-dimensional. His insecurity, he uses that as fuel, like, okay, cool. I'm gonna lock in. This is what I can do, so this is what I'm going to do. I may not be the most athletic. I may not be the most whatever. But hey, I can damn sure play some piano. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do my damnedest and play some piano. I'm gonna do my damnedest and lean into this taijutsu. I can't do no genjutsu. I can't do no whatever jutsu. I don't even know what the other damn jutsu is, because taijutsu is king. Okay?
Genjutsu, taijutsu, and ninjutsu.
Yeah, whatever. Taijutsu. Hockey is king, taijutsu is king. Ask Madara what he say. Okay. Wow.
I know it sucks. But again, are you done?
Someone who didn't let the Rock Lee versus Gara fight. Not the fight, the way it ended. Being injured and being told you're done. It's over. You can't. You will no longer. You cannot be a ninja no more. You ain't gonna be able to fight no more. It's a wrap. And being like, yeah, nah. Like not letting someone limit what I'm able to do, what I'm capable of doing. If I put my mind to it, which usually more times than not, especially injuries, is a lot more mind over matter. Right? I'll use my wife as an example. My wife was told, based on because of her knee and her situation and some other stuff going on, she wasn't gonna be able to do certain things anymore. She wasn't gonna be able to squat or like sit down on her heels, like basically be on her knees and put her butt down on her heels. Completely fine. Can do all of that. Everything she was told she couldn't do, she can do. Excuse me. People who deal with injuries all the time, like, hey, this is looking like, you probably will never play football again. I honestly, plenty of people come through that. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not true. And then go through it like, oh, dang, I'm so surprised. Why are you surprised? Because this happens time and time again, over and over again, right? Not everyone is gifted to do everything. Not everyone is at the level of, I can do all these things. I can, like, again, Zenitsu, one move Zenitsu. One aspect Rock Lee. But he hones in on that. Zenitsu repeatedly over and over and over again. All I do is thunderclap, whatever the heck is called. Rock Lee, all I can do is taijutsu, and I'm not going to let that hold me back. Sure, he definitely has some motivational, aspirational aspects to him, but there's so many of us in this world who aren't good at everything, who aren't well-rounded, who are masters of one. And we lean into that. We don't let that hold us back, and we succeed with that. That's not a bottom 10, in my opinion. I'm done.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Great. So, a couple things. And then I'll get to the part of why he's relatable. Again, he brought in Zenitsu. We talked about why Zenitsu is relatable and sits at top. Even Joe said I would give top 10. I would pray that Joe wouldn't give Rock Lee top 10, in my opinion, number one. Number two, Joe hit on a lot of the things that he said was literally the hard work versus talent. And again, this is why I think he belongs with Zoro, because again, I think it speaks to an individual group of people. I don't think it speaks to everybody as a whole. In my opinion, because if that was the case, then I think Zoro doesn't belong in the bottom 10 either, because I think Zoro is more relatable to Rock Lee. I think, again, the only thing that Rock Lee, well, he has a couple things, but the biggest thing that he has is hard work beats out talent. And I get it. Everybody can relate to that. But I think that more than anything, a certain group of people can relate to that. Athletes can relate to that. Musicians can relate to that. I wouldn't open that up for everybody. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people do like see that as, but again, I see that more as an inspirational type of thing. One thing that I will say that Rock Lee does is hard work doesn't like give out results right away. It doesn't guarantee like immediate results. He had to work year in, year out. We saw homeboy like kicking a tree until like legs bled. Like he dude worked his tail off. And I think for me that is relatable, because whether you are like filling out job applications, going to school, any of that stuff. Like, just because you fill out one application doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the job. Like, you have to continue to fill out job applications. You have to continue to update your resume. Schools, just because you apply to one school doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get into that one school. That is why it's better to apply everywhere. So again, hard work, and that's just hard work and like dedication to like what you're doing, whether it's filling out applications, whether it's job, applications, or filling out school or whatever that you're having to do. But again, the biggest thing that Rock Lee has, which again is that one thing, is that hard work beats out talent. For Zenitsu for me had a plethora of things.
Okay, put him in top 15. I'm not putting that in bottom 10. That's ridiculous.
That's fine.
That's crazy. All right, P. Next on the list is Kento Nanami. As a grown man in life, I feel like he should be up there. But go ahead, P. It's on you.
My main thing that I want to talk about with Nanami is the fact that he is an adult who is just tired. My man's is tired of it all. Burnout is a real thing for this guy. For me, one of the most relatable characters as far as like adult wise, often just overwork, often tired. Sometimes you catch this guy like just questioning, like, bro, what is life? And I think that is very relatable for adults, because I think a lot of like adults, including myself, feel trapped between like the responsibilities of being an adult and then just the fulfillment in life. We saw like what he wanted to do eventually, how he wanted to retire, how he wanted to just be like, hey, yo, go sit on the beach somewhere and just chill out. Unfortunately, met his demise, didn't get a chance to fulfill, to live
What
out
you
his.
mean? He's on vacation right now.
I mean, God bless.
My man made it to Malaysia.
God
Was it
bless.
Malaysia?
He made it to heaven.
Malaysia?
We call that heaven.
No, Malaysia.
I think it was Malaysia, but heaven.
Yes.
But I feel like for me, and I had a few more things, but I'll stick to that, and then I'll let Joe go. But just the fact of being an adult, and again, just trying to juggle like life responsibilities, but also like as a 36-year-old, like what is going to bring me fulfillment? What is going to bring me joy?
Damn.
And how do I get to that with lifing and me tired of work, but also like I got things that I want to do and I don't know how to juggle them all because I'm dealing with this. So that's for me as an adult, I think that's really relatable.
Yeah. No, I think you've hit on the head for the most part, Pete. The burnout, right? Like, I mean, his whole ability is based on like I clock in and I clock out. Like that's his whole thing. Like I ain't doing overtime, and if I am, like it's got to come with some stuff, right? So I think that's a lot. Like a lot of us, like yo, we clock in, we clock out. Once that clock strikes 5 or whatever, 5:30, whatever it is, like I'm done. Like I'm done now. It's me time now. It's show time, whatever, right? But also, I think there's something with Nanami too, where he obviously started as a sorcerer, jujutsu sorcerer, and he tried the normal life. He tried to like, I guess in a sense, run away from his calling. Like, there's too much. There's too much going on with this. Like, this isn't the 9 to 5 that I was dreaming of. Like, I want to work when it's time to work, and I want to play when it's time to play. The sorcerer life isn't that, right? And he tried to avoid that and tried to go to a normal life, but then realized like he couldn't. There was a responsibility, a calling that he had to go back, right? And a lot of that too is him realizing, you see with Yuji, he wants to protect the younger generation. Like he doesn't want Yuji to grow up too soon, to be an adult before it's time for Yuji to be an adult. Yeah. Like he's like, there's too much that you're about to put on your shoulders that you shouldn't have to at the age of 14, 15, 16, whatever, however old Yuji is, right? And like many of us, bro, he, like I said, P said he in heaven. Now he in Malaysia, bro. He had a simple dream, bro. My man wants to retire on the beach, sip some pina coladas. If you like pina coladas, like you know what I'm saying, and chill on the beach in Malaysia, bro. Like many of us want the simple life, the chill life. Like we have aspirations to do some stuff, right? But at the end of the day, most of us just want to chill, bro. We want to be able to say we did what we did. And now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. And that's not me in a nutshell, man.
Oh my God, one more thing. I'm sorry. Also, like real quick, showing up when you're tired. Like this dude did not have to show up, but as adults, as people who like have families and have kids and like have to be in leadership and all that, sometimes regardless of how tired you are, regardless of how burnt out you are, you still have to show up.
Yeah. Nanami's up there.
I didn't think Nanami was going to be top 5, top 10, but yeah.
Nanami's up there.
He's up there for adults. Like I just feel like bro, every adult can.
I mean, but there's look.
I feel like kids can also just experience
at this day and age, bro. So much is put on the young bucks' shoulders that they got to take care of and handle, and they shouldn't have to, but they do. Which may not fully be Nanami, but it's up there for sure. Yeah, I had Nanami top 5 all the way.
Okay,
I'm gonna introduce this next one because I don't know nothing about this man.
You know nothing about Moomin Rider?
Absolutely not. I know this man ride a bike. So P, since you know Moomin Rider, I looked some stuff up, but I don't know much enough about him really to talk about him. So Terrell, have at it. Go off on Moomin Rider from One Punch Man.
So I'm not finna go off on Moomin Rider, but again, I love Moomin Rider. First of all, I still like wonder how he's a C ranked hero. I feel like that's really high for Moomin Rider, but no Moomin Rider hate here.
What was Saitama when he first
C ranked?
Crazy. That's insane, bro. How this man punched? Yeah, no, that's crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. A couple of things. One, knowing when you've met your match or knowing when you're outmatched. Moomin Rider definitely is not the strongest person in the room. And I think this ties into another thing that I want to say. But he helps out where he can. Which again, I think that's very relatable. Again, we talk about anime impacts. You don't have to be the smartest, the strongest, the richest, the most talented, the most gifted to help out. Like he knows that, yes, I am outmatched. I'm trying to take out dragon level threats and I get it. I am outmatched, but I am using my gift. I am using my talents to help out where I can. I think for me, that is really relatable. I think for other people that's really relatable too. Again, 1% of the world holds all the riches. So does everybody have money like that? No, but can we help out where we can? Yes. Am I the most gifted musician? No. Can I help out where I can? Yes. My colleagues, are some of them the most gifted billers and coders? No. But what they can lock in and what they can do with it, they help where they can. And so knowing that, like, yes, this task is great. It's really big. But even then, I'm going to settle down and I'm going to help where I can. I think it's very, very relatable.
So does he have powers? He doesn't have any powers?
Not that I've seen, man. I've seen him, like, crash his bike into folk.
Okay.
I really think he's like a gag character. Like Saitama.
Right, but he pulls up to fight and stuff like that when...
Yeah, that man pull up.
I mean, so, okay. So that courage...
So that was going to be another one. Yeah. Courage, despite you like having like crazy limitations in a universe that is wildly strong. Yeah. Yeah. Like, despite that, like, you're in this crazy, crazy world, you still have the courage to take on some of these monsters that, B and A ranks can't take on. You still show up and you still help out where you can. Like, you have the courage, despite like being fearful. Like, you finna step in, you finna do what you got to do. Again, just helping out where you can. Like, he always helps out where he can. And another thing, and this is, I don't know if not everybody does this, but for me, I try, because I don't like recognition, but doing good things and not being recognized. Like, he does whatever he can. He does like a plethora of good things, and he doesn't care if he's recognized for them or not. Like, he just know that he's there to help. He's there to do a good deed. And if people recognize him, great. If they don't, great. I'm here because, like, this is kind of like what I'm called to do. I'm called to be a hero and I'm called to help. So regardless if I get the recognition for it, or regardless if I do or if I don't, like, I am going to do what I am called to do. And so that's Moomin Rider.
I'll let you have
Moomin Rider top 10, top 15. What would you say just based off of like the conversation? You giving bottom 10?
No, just
top 15.
Yeah, top 15. Okay. I guess.
I'm not mad at that. Next we have is Reiner. Take it away, Joe.
This one's difficult as far as, I mean, maybe more talking about think differently, but as far as relatability, I mean, obviously there's that childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Obviously there's the um, put in a box, demeaned, and self worth going on. Like no one thinks Ryan is good enough to make it as a warrior, not a soldier, a warrior. Um, and obviously he fights tooth and nail to prove people otherwise. I think his biggest thing, and not even the relatability, but his biggest character trait is his split personality, his dual personality that he develops as warrior versus soldier because of the trauma that he goes through. Um, Obviously, there's people out there who deal with stuff like that. It's not a common thing. Not everyone's walking around, struggling with that and going back and forth and whatnot. So that's like, his biggest character trait is not a relatable character trait, in my opinion. Obviously, he's a victim. But again, go back to the quote: "Hurt people hurt people." So not only is he a victim, but he also hurt people. He's a perpetrator as well, right? And he's trying to, in order to save someone, he's hurting someone at the same time, which I guess some people may deal with. There's not, truly, in my opinion, for me, I don't see much relatable with Reiner. P, I don't know if he's got something different and you really do think he is. I think I love Reiner's character. I love seeing his struggle. I just see it hard to see him as relatable.
So I got a couple things. For me, he was more relatable than what I thought. One, Reiner carries a lot of guilt over the choices that he made, and I think everyone has to live with mistakes, but number two, everyone has decisions that they wish they could go back and undo. I know we talked about that with one other character. I think Roy Mustang. Like we all have decisions that we've made that it's like, dang, bruh. Especially like when you get to the adult phase and you really look back and you probably could have made some different decisions. But again, and I get it, the world that Rhino was in, like it was really hard to kind of turn that around, but just bringing it to the real world, like everybody has some type of guilt that some type of decision that they've made that has cost them like some type of guilt and they wish they could go back and undo it. You talk about the identity conflict. I agree with you there. I think one of the biggest things too is just like him, and I don't know if this is necessarily a reach, but like him feeling trapped, like he has no other option but to do this.
Yeah, for sure.
For me, and I think sometimes a lot of adults, even just a lot of kids, like I think sometimes we feel trapped to where like there is no way out. This is the life that's predicated for me. This is what I'm like. This is what I have to do. I come from like not a good area, like Henderson, North Carolina. Look it up. It's not great. We were at one point in time top 10 worst cities to live in U.S. per capita. And I remember my guidance counselor, and I shared the story before. My guidance counselor was like, "You have a couple options." Like, didn't even introduce college to me. She was like, either, and I don't know if I said this, but I know I told Joe this because we were talking
about. Yeah, I can't remember if you. Yeah, I can't remember if you said this on the pod or not.
But my guidance counselor told me, like, legit, shout out Miss Powell.
Don't shout that woman out. Don't shout that lady out.
God bless. But she told me that I only had a couple options. I could either go to the Army, I could start like in the workforce. Because she didn't say anything to me about college. She didn't like, that wasn't even a factor in her mind. I legit applied for college maybe in April. Like that's like when I started like to jump on the train. Which crazy. I got in a few. Surprisingly. But because of where you're from, And just like Reiner, because where he's from, you feel like you're trapped. There are only a couple of options that you can do based on the environment that you grow up in and the people that are going to give you like the advice of what to do. So if I had legit took the advice, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at now. And so I think a lot of us like, and I don't care whether it's based on environmental or based on demographics or whatever. Sometimes like we do feel trapped in that there is no way out. And I feel like that is very relatable because I can guarantee you in some point in somebody's life, they felt trapped and they felt like that there was no way out. And I don't even want to get biblical, but like even biblically, like, yes.
Yeah.
So those are a couple of things. Like I said, he's not like crazy like relatable. But I don't think he's bottom 5.
Yeah. I would put him bottom 10 then. So I'll put him next to Zoro there. Like I said, I love Reiner's character. So it's not a diss on the character. He's one of my favorites, but least favorites at the same time in the series. Like he's annoying that is the way he is, but it's understandable, and I think he's just well written.
He's well written, but like nobody has like. I think his best attribute is like redemption, and to be completely honest, not everybody goes through redemption. And like not everybody really takes that route.
Yeah, I mean, even his redemption is like he flips sides, but it's like I don't know. I think it was.
He's a complicated character, but I don't think he's like he's relatable.
Yeah,
like he may be relatable to some people, but like just overall. Like he's just a really good written character.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. It's been a long one. Been a minute.
Wow, this might be the longest one we've ever done.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely this season for sure.
Oh, definitely this season for sure.
Definitely this season. Plans to come back for part 2, finish this thing up like we did last time with the main characters.
We should do women characters.
We could. That would be another long one. Yeah. Which I wouldn't be a bad idea. I love me a good female.
Plus, we haven't
female characters.
We haven't. Plus, in all of these side characters, I don't think we've had one woman character.
Shout out to Joel. Don't be mad at us.
Joel and what did you call it?
Joel made this though.
I'm talking about the other one.
Oh, Joel made the other one too, I believe.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if Wade made it or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
But P, anything you want to say before we leave? Don't hold back now, fool. Nah, man.
It's a good time, man. It's a good time. Again, I really enjoy like even Joe said, like I really enjoy, and he said this the last time we did this, but just digging deep in some of these characters to see like how they relate to us in real life aspects. I think it's like a really fun thing to do. Yeah. Because again, you realize that some of these characters are kind of relatable. And some kind of aren't. Rock Lee. I'm going to go back and revisit Rock Lee. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to have to go back and look at that.
We'll look at it when we come back. But, all right, y'all. If you stuck around this entire time, man, appreciate you guys. Make sure to like the stream. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see y'all next time.
Yep.
Peace.
Boom, 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 boom.